Now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Rice versus Welkowitz, Winnie, step forward.
Restaurant owner David Rice is suing 18-year-old James Welkowitz and his former friend, 18-year-old James Winnie, for damaging his restaurant's sign when they were driving drunk.
Welkowitz, raise your hand. Winnie, raise your hand. Which one of you was driving the car?
I was, Your Honor.
Which one was the passenger in the car?
I was, Your Honor.
Which one was drunk?
Both of us.
Raise your hand! Mr. Rice, you are the owner of a Wendy's.
Yes, I am.
These two idiots came through your drive-thru.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Welkowitz driving the car,
I believe so, yes.
and Mr. Winnie, passenger in the car.
Yes.
One of them wanted free food.
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your hand if you wanted free food. Raise your hand! And when they were told they couldn't get free food, they drove off
Sped off, yes, Your Honor.
and damaged some of your property.
In a
Sign
light pole and
a
ran
pole.
over a sign. Yes, ma'am.
And you want them to pay for the damage?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I see the damage, please?
Yes. I have pictures also, Your Honor.
I'd like to see the pictures. I'd like to see the estimates.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
There you go, Bert, thank you. And I have police reports also.
We'll see. Date of the incident, please.
October 21st, 2004.
October 21st. That's my birthday.
Happy birthday. My brother's birthday also.
Now, you gentlemen were not celebrating my birthday, were you?
No,
What were you celebrating on October 21st?
we were celebrating. We were just having a night out, just drinking.
And whose car were you driving, Mr. Wilkowitz?
I was driving his car.
And how did you get the keys to his car, Mr. Wilkowitz?
He gave them to me. He asked me to drive because he was too drunk. He was swerving all over the road because we just got back from Taco Bell.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
What do you do?
I do construction.
Did you graduate from high school?
Yes, Your Honor.
When?
June 04.
And you?
I didn't graduate, Your Honor.
How old
I
are you?
graduate this year.
How old are you?
18.
Are you on a 5-year plan
No,
of high
8.
school?
No.
A 6-year plan?
I started school late.
You think you're going to get smarter by being drunk?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Rice has had about $1,200 worth of damage to his property. Who's going to pay for it? I don't see those hands going up.
Hey, Your Honor, can I say something, though?
That's wiping your nose, sir. I don't see the hands going up.
I
Who's
just
going
wanted
to
to
pay?
bring up that he did break my nose. When we got out the car, I pulled over. He broke my nose. I had to go to the hospital.
He broke your nose. That before or after you damaged Mr.
After.
Shh. Is that before or after you damaged Mr. Rice's property?
After I damaged his property.
Why would I care about that? I'm going to say it again. You were driving.
Yes, Your Honor.
It was your car.
Yes, Your Honor.
Raise your hand and tell me who's going to pay for Mr. Rice's damaged pole and sign. Ugh.
Can I say something, Your Honor? The only reason why I hit the sign because he grabbed the wheel.
Why would I grab the own wheel in my car?
Why were you in the car with him when you were drunk?
He took my keys from my friend's mom.
Yes. That doesn't tell me how you got into the car, sir.
Told me
Because
to
he was
drive.
about to take off with my car.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's lying.
No.
I can't anymore. I can't anymore. I mean, it's Dumb and Dumber. They were the standard for the script.
You read my mind.
Mr. Rice,
Yes, ma'am.
sad but true. Youth of America. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $1,200. Bird. Just take him out.
Okay. Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I was the manager on the
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Mr. Cordova is your former husband. You have 3 children.
Yes.
I gather 2 of those children were born during the course of your marriage. Is that right?
Yes.
And then you divorced in 2000.
Yes.
Got back together again, didn't remarry, but had another child.
Yes.
It is your claim, Miss Leyva, that your former husband deceived you and that he convinced you to relocate to New Mexico.
Yes.
He convinced you to relocate to New Mexico because he said he had a job there and you were going to be a family there. You left your home, broke your lease, took your kids out of school, moved from where to New Mexico?
From Denver, Colorado to Albuquerque.
And Mr. Cordova was supposed to join you. Instead, he stayed in Colorado
That's where I live.
and married somebody else.
Yes.
So you want him to pay all your expenses, moving expenses, you have no job, you quit your job. Mr. Cordova says that he never told you to move to New Mexico. You moved to New Mexico because you wanted to be near your father. And he never had intentions of relocating.
No, I didn't.
Okay. When was your third child born, Mr. Cordova?
July of 2001.
And after you and Miss Leyva were divorced, did you ever resume living together?
Yes.
When?
About January of 2001.
And how long did you stay together?
October of last year.
I moved out December 1st.
Why did you move out?
I met him when I was 15. It's been an ongoing, it's been a mess since then. I loved him, he loved me, but we never could get ourselves to get together, to be together. So after this time, I moved out. I got my own place. I had a very good job that I loved.
Just a second. So you moved out in December 2003 because you decided that you didn't want to be married to him or together as a couple anymore.
Yeah.
Well, something changed evidently at some point. When was that?
In May, he called and asked, it was my birthday in May, he told me that he had tickets to the De La Hoya fight if I wanted to go. So I agreed and I went.
How long did you go away for?
The weekend.
Watch the children.
My mother. And then we came home and, we were friends and stuff. In July, my father came out and it was a mess because we put our kids through ridiculous stuff. I mean,
It's clear to me that you did.
Yeah, my daughter's 10 years old. She's supposed to be in the 5th grade. I held her back. She's in 4th grade now. She's just struggling. She's at a 1st grade level. It's bad. And my father came down and met with Larry. They talked first and then I came later on that day. I was crying and I told him, Larry, if you do not want this, if you are not sure, please don't do this because...
Don't do what? I haven't heard about him doing anything.
Well, he was talking about me and him getting back together.
That was in July.
Yes, we had talked about before us moving to a different state and not knowing no one, a new start, and we can try stuff over and just work on our family.
Does that sound familiar to you?
No.
No. You never had that discussion
Her
with
father did come down to talk to me.
And what did he say to you?
He said
Is this
that-
her father?
Yes. He
So I
said
assume
that
he's going to tell me what he said too. What do you say he said to you, sir?
He said that he found a house for Michelle and my kids, and that Michelle wanted to go out there and live with him, and she's been wanting to move out there, and I knew that. That's not something that I wanted to do. I was already in a relationship with somebody else. They asked me if I
Well, when
wanted
did
to.
you start a relationship with somebody else?
In July.
So between May and July, you met somebody else.
Correct.
Did you tell that to your former wife?
No.
Shh.
Did I tell her I met somebody else?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
You did.
Yes.
Told her name.
Yes, she knew her name. As a matter of fact, she even stole her phone number from my house and was making prank calls.
I never called her, and that was because...
Never called who?
I've never called the girl. I went to his house. We were supposed to be together. He told me his last day of work was going to be August 11th at Denver International Airport was his last day. He's going to start a new job in Albuquerque August 16th. I went to his house one night, went over just to go see, what was up, to hang out, and I found this number of this girl on his counter. And
When was that?
in August.
In August?
Yeah.
Before you moved?
I found this number.
Okay.
So I showed him, and I was going crazy, and I asked him what it was, and he wanted to grab it from me so bad. He didn't want me to get the number. Well, I put it into my phone while I was telling him.
So you knew that he had somebody else when you moved to New Mexico?
Yes, I just had found out then. I didn't know he was deceiving me the whole time.
But you knew he had somebody else when you moved to New Mexico?
No, actually, he told me, no, that's an old number, and we don't talk.
No.
Which I don't believe,
No.
how
But
can
you knew better.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Unfortunately, raised 3 probably neurotic children because of the behavior of both of you.
Actually, 4. I was raising her kids she had from someone else while we were married.
And later today,
David had shoved me into the fridge. I called the police. We went to sleep in separate rooms that night, woke up the next morning, and it was the same scene. I had been shoved into the same refrigerator. I called the police again.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Michelle Leyva says ex-husband Larry Cordova owes for the cost to move. Michelle says Larry left her for another woman.
So when you went to New Mexico, you had some reservations as to whether or not he was going to come with you, right?
Yeah, he was supposed to be there.
I said you had reservations, which means that you weren't sure that he was going to come with you because he had somebody
Well, I
else.
left my daughter behind because she had a broken foot. I left her behind, and he said, that's fine, she'll come up when I come. He was supposed to come on that Sunday.
So who brought her?
He called and told me 2 nights before he was supposed to leave he wasn't coming. She was stuck there. I had no money to go back. He wasn't going to give me no money because he hasn't given me child support for about 5 months. I called my brother, and my brother came, and he brought her.
When did you get married, Mr. Cordova?
September.
Why don't you pay child support?
I do. As a matter of fact, she said she was going to try to make me look like a deadbeat dad, so I requested a balance from the
Can I see it, please?
county, Adams County Department of Social Services.
How much are you supposed to send every week or month?
They automatically take it out of my checks. It's $94.
A week?
A month.
A month. And that's because of when we got...
I'm
parents-
speechless.
Well, no.
I mean,
when my children lived here, they were with me all the time.
No, they weren't.
Well, there's just a second. Shh. But
And
they're
that
not with you now.
was how the parenting plan was.
Shh, listen to me. But they're not with you now.
They're not. And they
I didn't
haven't
ask
been.
you anything.
And that's being resolved in the courts.
You have 3 children. How do you expect her to survive and support 3 children and work with $94 a month? And how dare you get married again?
And I said,
I'm speaking. And start another family when you have somebody when you have prior responsibility.
I taking care of my kids, and
No, you're not.
she moved, and I mean, we're resolving that in the courts now. So
Mr. Cordova, listen to me very carefully, sir. Are you contesting her move to New Mexico? That
I
requires a
didn't-
yes
I
or a
didn't
no.
I wasn't
Do you know what
against
that
her
means?
moving. Yes, I wasn't against her moving.
So you were in favor of her moving.
I was not in favor of her moving either. I didn't have a choice. The only choice I had was to move out there, and I wasn't going to do that.
No, sure you did. You said that her father came up to believe you, Mr. Cordova. Her father came up and you spoke about her moving down there with her father, going to move into a house, and that's what she would like to do. You didn't say, I told her I didn't want her to move and take my children away.
Oh, I told her I didn't.
No,
want her to
I
take
didn't
my
hear
children.
that. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that then. I didn't hear that in your voice, Mr. Cordova.
Why
How much do you earn?
About $4,100 a month.
You make $4,000 a month and you support your 3 children to the tune of $94 a month?
Correct.
That's outrageous, sir. That's outrageous. I hope they get you good.
they are.
They get you good. And I would make sure that there's a whole bunch of birth control in your house so that you don't have any more children until you learn to take care of these 3. Because you may have started out when you were 2 babies, but unfortunately raised 3 probably neurotic children because of the behavior of both of you.
Actually, 4. I was raising her kids she had from someone else while we were married.
How old was she when your first child was born?
16. I was 15.
You were 15.
16.
I was
And how old were you?
16.
And how old are you?
18, I think. 18, I think. 19, 18.
19. And she was 15. That's big trouble. That could be big trouble. So, I would take a whole bunch of birth control, sir. Make sure. And, you have to either swallow it or use it in order for it to work. Do you understand?
Yes.
I don't know what your problem is, but you make choices in this world, and your choice was that you moved to New Mexico to be near your father.
Because he deceived. I only moved because of
It's
him.
been a lifetime of deception.
Well,
ma'am.
I wouldn't. I'd be at home in my place with my kids where they
Well,
were
then
settled
let
in.
me tell you this, then move back home. I mean, you also have some responsibility. You are how old now?
27.
27, and you have 4 children. Is that right?
Yes.
That is enough children.
Yes.
You have enough children. Now you have to work on supporting them and taking care of them.
What I'm doing.
You have no case against Mr. Cordova, madam, and you have to get used to that. The only thing you have to get used to is paying more money. And if I were you, I would start paying it before somebody makes an order for me to pay it, because if you came before me and said you had 3 children and you make $4,000 a month and you're forking over $94 a month, I would torture you. We understand each other?
Yes.
Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think she made the right decision. I did not deceive her like she's saying.
He knows in his heart what he did.
She's mad that I got married, and she always thought we would be back together someday, and that's not what happened.
It's fine. It's not over.
Whenever I've been in any kind of relationship, she's tried to ruin it or destroy it.
He's not there for my kids at all.
I'm happy, and I want her to move on with her life and be happy.
He'll get what's coming to him. That's all.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Wilson versus Lavarius. Step forward, please.
25-year-old bartender Ben Wilson is suing his ex-boyfriend, 22-year-old retail salesperson David Lavarius, for breaking an apartment lease. David says Ben became violent, so he moved out.
Mr. Wilson, you and Mr. Lavarius were in a relationship and decided to lease an apartment.
Yes.
Mr. Lavarius's name was not on the lease, only yours.
Yes.
According to you, you had an oral agreement that he would pay for half the rent.
And a sublet agreement, a written sublet agreement.
Good. Which I will look at. And it is your claim that he moved out and that he should pay you for his half of the year's rent for the duration of the lease. Mr. Lavarius says you got into a fight, you called the police, it was clear you didn't want him there, so he doesn't have to pay a thing.
Right.
Where'd you get this sublet agreement?
That was from my landlord. David had a bad renter history, and the landlord and I both wanted him to be legally responsible for the apartment. So she decided that the best way to go about doing that was to have him fill out a sublet agreement.
It's not binding. It doesn't contain all the terms and provisions of this document. When you want a legal document that withstands legal scrutiny, you're supposed to go to a lawyer, not a landlord. So you had, according to you, an arrangement with Mr. Lavarius that despite the fact that you were on the lease, that he was going to pay half the rent. Is that your agreement with him?
Yes.
Is that his agreement with you? Yes, that's good. And you moved into the apartment when, Mr. Lavarius?
End of July.
When did you move out?
Mid-August.
Did you pay any rent at all?
Yes.
When?
No, he did not. His check said...
I'll get to you. Yes.
Yes, I did.
When?
I started my job beginning of August. I paid him $200 first, and then the rest of the money that I paid him went toward his birthday party during the middle of the month.
That's not rent. Birthday party, not rent. Rent, birthday party. You paid him $200 according to you?
Yes.
Now, what happened August 20th?
August 20th, well, prior to that, we had gotten into a couple fights.
About?
Our scheduling wasn't right. He doesn't think, doesn't listen, so we had a little conflicts and disagreements, so it ended up physical.
On August 20th?
August 20th, I believe, the police were called twice.
When were they called for the first time and who called them?
He called them both times.
Is that right, sir?
Yes, it is.
Why did you call the police?
David had shoved me into the fridge. I didn't want to push back because I'm a lot bigger than David. I didn't want to be in a position where I'm going to hurt David.
Big Nelly punk.
And he pushed me into the fridge, knocked over a bunch of stuff off the top of it. I ran outside and called the police. After I called the police, he ran outside after me saying, "You can't call them, I have warrants, I'll go to jail, do you want me to go to jail?" That night I had sent the police away, gotten them to leave. We went to sleep in separate rooms that night, woke up the next morning and it was the same scene. I had been shoved into the same refrigerator. I called the police again.
Listen to me, Miss Lavarius.
Yes.
I don't want you to say anything until I look in your direction and ask you a question. I did ask you questions and you gave me answers before, is that right?
Yes.
And when he interrupted, I told him not to interrupt again, right?
Right.
You understand what that means?
Yes.
Don't interrupt him until I look at you.
Okay.
In the evening, he shoved you again.
Yeah, it was actually the next afternoon. He shoved me again. I called the police again, and when the police came a second time, they said, "We have to press charges for this."
So?
And he ran away from the house because he had these warrants. He actually just got picked up on Sunday for these warrants.
You called the police, and it was your hope and expectation that the police would put him out so that you could have the peaceful enjoyment of your apartment. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
And you certainly don't want him to move back into your apartment, do you?
No, I don't. But I never would have gotten that apartment without having David's income. That was an apartment that I could not have afforded myself. I only got it because of the agreement that we had that he would pay rent.
He's not going to pay rent in a place where he can't live, sir. And you don't want him to live there. You feel threatened with him living there. That's why you called the police twice.
Threatened?
So, how long did you know Mr. Lavarius before you undertook this rent?
We met on June 9th. He didn't have anywhere to stay. He was
I
kind
didn't
of
ask for the
homeless.
whole story. I asked for a date.
We had known each other for 2 months.
What did he do for a living?
He had gotten, before August had started, he'd gotten a job at American Family Insurance.
In June.
In June, he was between jobs.
So he got a job when in July?
I believe it was the middle of July.
So for 4 weeks he was employed. Is that right?
Yes.
And you knew he had such bad credit that his name couldn't even go on a primary lease.
Right.
So that would give an intelligent person a clue that I wouldn't rent an apartment with this person that I know for 8 weeks, who's been unemployed for 4 weeks, who has a bad history of not paying rent. I wouldn't take an apartment with that person that I couldn't afford for myself.
He would.
Ugh.
Sorry.
And anyway, Mr. Wilson, you can't have it both ways. You have an apartment, either he's your roommate and lives there or not. You don't want him there because you didn't like getting shoved around and you didn't like fighting. You called the police twice. They came, they accommodated you. He took off, and that's exactly what you want. So don't come to court to complain about it. You got what you wanted. You have your apartment all to yourself. Now you have to pay for it. That's all. Case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Frankly, I wasn't going to live in a situation where I was.
In 1995.
And how many children do you have?
1.
Your lawsuit involves the child.
Yes.
It is your claim that pursuant to your judgment of divorce, each of you is required to pay 1/2 of the unreimbursed medical expenses for the child.
Yes, ma'am.
And that you took the child to see a psychologist.
Yes.
Child was treated by this psychologist, and you want the defendant to pay 1/2 of that bill.
Yes, ma'am.
Which was how much? $300 and some odd dollars?
For the psychologist alone, it was $195 for her part.
And then?
The medical expenses totaled up $595 for her part.
What were the rest of the medical expenses for?
Doctor's visits for attention deficit disorder, his checkups, medication.
Over what period of time did you have him treated?
From 1998 up to present date.
When did you first present her with the bill?
My wife and I have presented her with the bills every few months all along, and she's refused to pay every time.
What reason did she give you for not wanting to pay?
She says she doesn't have to pay. The courts aren't going to make her.
Miss Gray, was your son diagnosed as having attention deficit disorder?
Yes.
Your defense is that he took him to a doctor that was out of plan.
Yes.
And therefore, since you're covered by some sort of a health plan, is it a private health plan or is it a state health plan?
State.
That since he could have gotten the treatment for nothing, you shouldn't have to pay anything.
Yes.
Are you the primary custodian for the child?
Yes.
Why didn't you take the child then to the doctor?
He was 4 years old. I was going to wait until he started school and see if it was something that he would grow out of.
Well, clearly he didn't.
Once he established the doctor down in Bakersfield, my pediatrician tried to keep in touch with him. Because of the medication, we were trying to keep it in one place. And I am right now, under my pediatrician's recommendation, having a reevaluation done.
So you consented to him taking the child to this doctor after 1998?
I didn't consent to it. He never told me about it.
No, he did tell you about it. Initially, he had to have told you because if the child was prescribed medication in 1998 and you are the child's primary custodian, you would have had to have given the child medication when the child was with you.
Yes, I do give him the medication.
So if you gave him the medication, then you knew that the child had a diagnosis, which I'm sure you discussed with your former husband, so you consented to it.
Yes, with my doctor's consent.
Fine. You didn't say to him at that time, Miss Gray, I don't want you to take the child to your doctor anymore. I will take care of it here.
I've tried to.
You didn't?
No.
Can I see your judgment of divorce, please?
I have told him that. I've never been presented a bill either.
Not otherwise covered by insurance.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? So when I asked you that question, Miss Gray, you clearly knew when the child was 4 that the child had certain problems, and that you said you wanted to wait until he got to school to see whether the problems would resolve themselves.
He was my first child, and I assumed that it was basically being a 4-year-old child, just busy and playing, and I had him in Head Start. They didn't see any reason to take him in for a diagnosis at that time. My pediatrician wanted to keep it separate and just keep in contact with that doctor that he took him to, who is...
So you consented to him taking the child to that doctor?
I guess
If you
I did.
consented to him taking the child to that doctor, under the terms of your judgment of divorce, you are responsible for 1/2 of the unreimbursed medical bills.
I provided him with a Medi-Cal card. He chose to take him to a doctor that didn't accept Medi-Cal and now wants me to pay for it. And I have provided him with insurance, which he is court-ordered to provide, and he doesn't.
Do you?
Yes, that's the Medi-Cal. I provide that for him.
How do you provide Medi-Cal for him?
I get AFDC because I can't work.
Well, then the state
For
provides it.
7
You don't
years.
provide it. I provide it. Bird provides it, but you don't provide it. You
It's
don't
because
provide
I
it.
can't work.
Whatever. You don't provide it. You can't say, I provide him insurance. You don't provide him with insurance.
He's got insurance because of me.
Well, let me ask you this question, Mr. Gray. Is it true that your former wife is unemployed?
Yes, she has been for 7 years.
So how do you expect her to pay this money?
She gets AFDC, and she is living with the father of her other 2 children that has a $45,000 a year income.
How can you get AFDC if you are married?
I'm not married.
That I'm not worried
Just a
about.
second.
She's not married to the man. She's living with him.
Do you have other children?
Yes, I do.
How old are they?
5 and 2.5.
Well, why can't you work?
Because I've been diagnosed with fibromyalgia. In 1998, the counselor that Cody was seeing didn't want me to work because they wanted me home with him. After that, the county didn't want me to work because I had a child under the age of 1. Then my current doctor does not want me to work because of the fibromyalgia. I've got the papers and the
I
documents.
mean, I'm just curious, if
stating
you can't work but you can have 2 young children, and you're living with somebody now full-time, and you have 2 children with that person, and that
Yes.
person is employed?
that. Yes,
What kind of work does that person do?
he's a roofer.
He's a roofer. You live in your own home?
We rent a duplex, yes.
Okay. Can I see the bills, please?
We aren't married because of this. Because in the last 6 years, he's taken me to court 7 times over custody issues.
What does that have to
And
do with not being married?
My fiance is afraid that it's going to affect his income and his taxes.
Well, it may, but you can't choose not to work.
I'm not choosing
Yes,
not to work.
you choose not to work. You cannot choose not to work if you have a financial obligation for this child who is older.
He's
You had-
$11,979 in debt to child support. I'm not choosing not to work. I tried to work in October, from October 9th of 2000.
Ms. Gray, when you have 2 children and you live with a man as a family, and the reason you are not married is to avoid certain obligations.
I'm not avoiding obligations.
Yes, you are. If you're living with a man who is a roofer, who earns a substantial living, and you have 2 children with him, and you're getting welfare, that, according to me, is a scam. That's a scam.
The county knows about it, and
The county may
has-
know about it. The county may have its head up behind. But
Is to use a doctor covered by her insurance.
Miss Gray, I've been in family court for a very, very long time. There is no question that if you married the man who is the father of your 2 young children, you would not be receiving welfare.
Every time
There
we
is
have
no
planned to
question.
get married, he has taken me to court. He has harassed me through court 7 times in 6 years, trying to get custody. And the judge in Kern County finally moved venue from Kern County to Placer County because he
Gray,
has done harassing me.
Miss Gray, that is
through
not
the
harassing.
courts.
If he is trying to exercise his right to get custody of his child for whatever reason, because he feels as if it's in the child's best interest, and it very well may be in the child's best interest, I don't know, I'm not hearing that case, that is not harassment. What I said to you was very clear and simple. You live with a man with whom you have 2 young children, you are not married, and there is no question that if you married this man with whom you are living, you would not be receiving welfare.
I'm
Period.
not concerned
End of
about
discussion.
the welfare. I've done it to keep the health insurance on my son because he doesn't pay child support. He doesn't carry health insurance.
Just 1 second. He doesn't pay child support to you, madam. He pays child support, whatever he pays, to the county because
He
the
doesn't pay
county is
child
supporting
support.
you. Has nothing to do with you.
I have a check stub where they take my child support straight out of my payroll.
Whatever child support he pays goes directly
I
to welfare. And I'm
understand that.
telling you that if you were, in fact, married to the man who is the father of your 2 children, you wouldn't be receiving support from Bird.
We haven't been able to get married because of this man.
Then you shouldn't be able to have 2 children with him. What do you mean you haven't been able to get married? That's
We
ridiculous.
can't afford it. Every time we have set a wedding date, he's taken me back to court. He does this on a regular basis.
Listen to me, Ms. Gray. You're not following what I'm saying to you. You owe him for half of the unreimbursed medical bills for your son since 1998. Your pediatrician said to you, let the doctor who's been treating him continue to treat him. You said, okay, you are responsible under the judgment of your divorce for half of the unreimbursed bills. You're going to pay them. What are the bills in total? Come on.
They come to $723 for her part.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $723. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The person can only milk the system for so long before they have to be paid for what they agreed in court.
I'm not on welfare because I'm lazy. My doctor said I cannot work.
She needs to pay her part. It took two of us to bring him here. It's going to take two of us to raise him.
I want him to leave me alone, visit with his son, and just leave me alone.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Cantor versus Ward Andrew. Step forward, please.
31-year-old psychotherapist Lisa Cantor is suing 49-year-old telemarketer Aduni Andrew and 35-year-old homemaker Maureen Ward. Lisa says the defendant's sons threw rocks at her car.
Miss Ward and Miss Andrews, would you have a seat? I'd like your boys to come up here, please. Step up, gentlemen. What is your first name?
Chad.
And yours?
DeAndre.
How old are you, Chad?
13.
And you, DeAndre?
13.
You know who I am?
Yes.
Seen me a couple of times?
Yes.
So you know what to expect?
Yes.
You know that when you're here, we only want to hear about what actually happened. No half-truths, no quarter-truths, no nothing. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You boys were playing outside on September 14th?
Yes. Yes.
Who were you playing with?
It was just me and him.
The two of you. And I want you to start out by knowing that I believe that you're not bad boys. You're kids.
Yes.
Were you throwing rocks?
Yes. Yes.
What were you throwing rocks at?
Cars. Cars.
And you were both throwing rocks at cars, right?
Yes. Yes.
How long had you both been throwing rocks at cars?
3 minutes. Yeah, 3 minutes.
Where were you standing when you were throwing rocks at these cars?
The corner. It was on the corner of Halldale.
Were you throwing rocks that were little rocks or bigger rocks?
Well, they wasn't too big.
Show me with your hands.
About that big.
A decent sized rock. Where did you get the rocks from?
On the ground.
Did you pick up some?
Yes.
You have pretty good aim?
No. Nah, not really.
How many cars do you think you hit in that 2 or 3 minute period?
Well, I know I hit one.
What about you?
None.
Is that because you had bad aim?
Yes.
Wasn't for lack of trying, right?
Yes.
You were trying to hit the cars.
Yes.
Did you tell that to your mother?
Yes.
And you?
Yeah.
Told that to your mother?
Uh-huh.
Did you tell it to her right away when this lady came calling and said that one of you had thrown a rock at her car?
Yes. No, not me.
Who didn't fess up right away?
DeAndre.
When did you tell your mother that you were throwing rocks?
The same day.
That's not true.
What did she say to you?
She told me, did I throw the rock at Lisa's car? And I told her no.
That it wasn't the rock that you threw that hit the plaintiff's car. It was the rock that Chad threw that hit the plaintiff's car.
Yes.
But that was just lucky for you, right?
Yes.
It wasn't that you weren't aiming for the plaintiff's car. It's just that you didn't manage to hit it, right?
Yes.
Now let me ask you this question, DeAndre. I want you to think about this very carefully. If Chad wasn't with you on that day, do you think you would have been standing on the street and throwing rocks?
No.
What would you have been doing?
Probably home.
Now, I'm going to ask you the same question, Chad. If DeAndre wasn't with you, would you have been standing on the corner yourself throwing rocks?
No.
So the reason you were standing on the corner throwing rocks is because you were gathering strength from each other. It was the two of you doing it together.
Yes.
Having some fun together, right?
During school hours, to boot.
I'm making my point.
Okay.
And my point would be as follows to the mothers. Who is DeAndre's mother? This whole lawsuit is about whether or not DeAndre is as responsible as Chad is for the damage that was done to the plaintiff's car, whose car was hit by one of these rocks. You seem to think that because it was Chad's rock that hit the car, your son isn't responsible. Wrong. They are equally as responsible. It's just the luck of the draw that he didn't hit the car. That was a pretty dumb thing. You know that you could have really caused a terrible accident?
Yes.
So why did you do that? Were you bored?
No.
Well, what were you doing standing out there like two idiots, throwing rocks at cars?
Well, I was bored. I didn't have nothing to do.
Well, do you think if you were in school you wouldn't have been bored?
At the time, I was doing home study. Well, I still am.
Why were you doing home study? Did you get suspended?
Nah, not really. It's just
Well, not really is not an answer. Did you get suspended?
No.
How long have you been on home study?
Couple of months.
What about you?
No.
No what?
I wasn't bored.
Why weren't you in school?
Because I haven't had my papers yet.
What?
I haven't had my papers for Summit View, a private school I'm going to.
Can I see the bill for the car, please?
Sure.
That's pretty cheap. One other thing, you have brothers and sisters?
3 brothers.
You have any younger brothers?
2.
And you?
I have 2 older sisters.
How old are they?
Well, my oldest sister is 30, and my youngest sister is 25.
Do they have children?
Yes.
Do you like their children? Mm-hmm. Your nieces and nephews?
Yeah.
You like them? So then let me ask you this. Let's say your little nieces and nephews are driving in a car with your sister, and somebody throws a rock at the car, and your sister swerves and hits a pole, and something happens bad to your nieces and nephews. How would you feel about the person who threw the rock?
I'll probably feel sad and...
Sad or angry?
Mad. Angry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why would you feel angry?
Well, because somebody threw a rock at the car, and she had an accident.
Next time either one of you contemplates doing something that's not only foolish, but can be dangerous, I want you to think about how you would feel if somebody that you loved was sitting in a car and was hurt because somebody else was just having some fun. Because although you are 13 now, you're going to be 16 and 17 and 18. You're going to be driving a car one day, and either you're going to be responsible and think about your actions, or you're going to be foolish and cause accidents. You always have to say, how would I feel if somebody did that to me or somebody I loved? You got it?
Yes.
Anything else you want to say?
That's it.
$137.50 for each. You have any questions about what I just did?
No.
Any questions?
No, I don't.
Perfect. Judgment for the plaintiff, that's all.
As I excuse, you may step out.
That the defendant assaulted you by biting you
Correct.
after some sort of an altercation at a bar.
Yes.
So first tell me when this occurred.
This incident occurred on June 15th of 2000 between 2:15 in the morning.
Okay, where had you been earlier that evening?
I was at a local tavern very close to my house. I had just gone in and was drinking a few beers when...
What time had you arrived there?
Between 10 and 10:30, I would say, that night.
Okay, go ahead.
The defendants came in and
The defendant came in. Was she with other people? You said they came in.
It was Tina Hall and Sarah Upsall.
Had you known them from before that evening?
I had not known Sarah. I had known Tina because I've had some previous problems with her in the past.
What time did they come in?
About 2 o'clock. I know that it was definitely after 2 o'clock because the bartender wouldn't serve them because she had already called last call. So they were not allowed any beverages. And that's in essence what the start fighted over was, because Tina just walked up to my spot at the bar while I was shooting pool and stole my beer and started drinking my beer. And
Your glass, shh. Your glass of beer?
It was a mini pitcher.
So you
She
saw
just-
Tina, that's this young lady.
I saw both of them walk up. Tina sat in the chair that I actually was sitting in, and I said, "Hey, you're drinking my beer." And
You said to Tina?
I said to Tina, and she turned around and looked at me, and she said, "No, I'm not. Shut up." And one of the persons that was giving me a ride home had said, "Hey, look, you know what? This girl's a troublemaker. Let's just get out of here." I set my pull stick down, and we exited the bar.
Did you have a car that evening?
I did.
And were you driving?
No.
Who was driving?
I was getting a ride home from an older gentleman who was a friend of my mother's, and also another gentleman around the same age as me.
So why didn't you drive home?
Because I felt like I was too drunk, I shouldn't be driving.
Okay, so you got a ride home. That's smart.
Yes.
And what happened?
We exited the front door and began walking towards the parking lot. The defendants came out and were yelling and screaming that they wanted to beat me up, we're going to kick your butt, you told on us. What had happened, I found out the next day from the bar owner, was that they were caught drinking the beer and were kicked out and asked to leave because they were not served. So just at the time as they were making their way out of the front exit, the other man that was with us was making his way out of the rear exit, and they kind of met. They were yelling and screaming at him, "Where is she? We want to beat her up. We're going to take care of this right now."
You heard them?
I heard them. I was just getting into the car at that point. He walked in and got into the vehicle we were riding in and shut the door, and he rolled the window down in an effort, I guess, to kind of get the last word in or whatever.
You say something stupid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Sarah just hit him dead in the face. And
That is...
Shh. No way. Wait a second. Go ahead.
From there, we couldn't believe it, and I was telling the driver, just go, take off, and they were either punching or kicking on the windows of the car, trying to break the windows.
Whatever.
We exited through an alley that was just off of the parking lot, and by the time that we turned onto the street, they were in their vehicle already following us.
Did you go home? You being dropped off?
I did not go home because I didn't want these girls to know where I lived, and I didn't want to have a fight with them. And they chased us around town for a good 15 to 20 minutes.
But they came a time when you did go home?
Yes.
And what happened when you got home? Because that's where this incident took place.
Well, the whole time that they were chasing us, they were yelling and screaming things out of the windows and stuff. And when we pulled up in front of my house, they, of course, came to a dead stop behind us. And the male on the passenger side, I was sitting in the middle of the front seat, he told me, just wait in the car and I'll take care of these girls. We'll get rid of them. Both of the girls just kind of flew out of their vehicle and immediately started attacking him, beating on him, on his head and his face. And he did this kind of like football maneuver, I would call it, and he knocked them both down. And they got up, continued to beat on him. At one point, he actually...
I don't want to hear from you yet.
She is lying.
Did you hear what I said? I don't want to hear from you yet.
But she is just...
I don't want to hear from you yet.
I know.
I don't like to raise my voice. You will have an opportunity to answer all of my questions.
Okay.
At one point, he actually had taken Tina by the shoulders and walked her to the vehicle, sat her in the seat, shut the door, and was about to do the same to Sarah. Tina got back out. They continued to beat on him. And that's when I made the stupid decision to get out of the car because I thought I was going to try to help stop it. And as soon as I got out of the car and I shut the door, Sarah was already approaching me. And I did not hesitate, and I began to beat her up. I had lost my temper by that point.
And what happened?
We had a knockdown, drag out, rolling on the ground, beating each other fight, and what it came down to was I was getting the better of her, and she bit my arm to get away from me. At that point, the fight broke up, and I started to walk up to get on my front porch to go in my house. Just as soon as I turned my back to get on my porch, he flew down the stairs, told me to look out. They were both closing in on me, trying to continue the fight, and Sarah and I did continue again for probably another 5 minutes fighting.
Okay, so am I correct, Miss Moore, that, I want you to answer my questions honestly, that when you got out of the car and the defendant came and, as you said, rushed you, you struck her first?
Yes, I did.
And that started the brawl?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Miss Opsel, you're at the bar.
Yes.
There's some words passed between you.
First of all, I did not even talk to Cindy. I was talking with the bartender.
Okay.
I did not drink her beer.
Okay. There was some words passed. Now, what I want to know is, you left at approximately the same time as the plaintiff left.
Yes.
Who was driving?
I was.
You were sitting in the passenger seat?
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you live in relation to the plaintiff?
I live in Wisconsin. It's over the bridge from her.
So nowhere near the plaintiff?
No.
What were you doing at her house?
I thought we were invited to after hours party.
Well, explain that to me. Shh. Explain that to me.
We were outside the tavern. And I thought Tina got invited because she knew them to this after party.
Well, let's get a hold of Tina. Tina,
Yes.
come up and stand up here. Who invited you to a party?
I don't know that I was even invited. We were just
I
going
thought
Sarah Opsel followed her home. Cindy claims a fight ensued and Sarah bit her on the arm.
You didn't know about any party.
No, ma'am.
So now, what made you think you were invited to a party?
because Tina knew these two, the plaintiff.
What I'm asking you, madam, is what made you think if Tina didn't know anything about a party, what made you think that you were going to a party?
Because we got in the vehicle and we were following them.
Well, my question is, what made you follow them?
Because I thought we were invited to the party.
What telepathic message had you received that you were invited to a party?
Because she said follow them.
Tina said?
Yeah.
Even she's laughing at you.
She's not laughing.
Even she's laughing at you.
No, she's not.
Tina said follow them. And that's all she said to you. Follow them. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes. You are just... You're trying to put words in my mouth.
No, I'm not. I want to know what you were doing. You live in a different state from the plaintiff.
Yes.
In a different state. There were clearly words exchanged, not necessarily between you and the plaintiff, but perhaps between Tina and the plaintiff outside the bar. You get into your car. Instead of going home at 2:30 in the morning, you follow the car around town for a while because Tina told you to follow them. And you assumed it was to go to a party.
Yes.
Okay. You had no business being there.
Being where?
At her house.
I wasn't at her house.
Now, yes you were. You were at her house. Now, once at her house, Tina, you tell me what happened when you pulled up in front of her house.
When we got to her house, we all exited the vehicles.
Who's all?
Sarah, myself, Cindy, and her boyfriend or friend at the time. We were having words. I don't know.
You mean as soon as you got out of the car, there started to be an altercation?
Yes. And
not a party? Not a party?
Apparently
not. At the time?
Apparently not.
No.
Okay. Go ahead.
And her friend came up to me and literally did take me by the shoulders, but he didn't put me in the vehicle. He slammed me up against the vehicle. And then she seen that this was happening, so Sarah came over by me and asked him not to do that. You don't do that. And then somewhere along the line, that's when Cindy came over to her and bit her. There was no slapping. There was no punching, no rolling around, none of that.
Who bit whom?
Sarah did bite Cindy, but Cindy was coming at her.
Self-defense.
Self-defense. Not in my book. You wouldn't have been there to have to defend yourself if you hadn't followed them home looking for a fight.
I wasn't looking for a fight.
Oh, yes, you were.
No, I was
looking
not.
for a fight.
I was
not looking for a party, looking for a fight.
Why would
Where
I
did she
look
bite
for
you?
a fight?
I have no idea, madam. I have no idea why you're out 2:30 in the morning looking for a drink, period. And I have no idea why, if you live in one state, you followed her home to her house, which is in another. I'm speaking, which is in
right
another
over
state.
the bridge. It is not another state to state.
I lived in Michigan, she lived in Wisconsin.
Just a minute, that's another state. I'm not really good at geography,
You don't
but one state
understand.
is Michigan, one state is Wisconsin. I don't care if it's just over a bridge. It's not your house.
I know
You
it's not
followed
my
her to her house. And you followed her to your house because she said, follow him. You said, oh, I guess she means follow. We're going to have a party with all these people who we didn't get
I was
along
looking
with at
for
the
a
tavern.
fight.
All right, madam, I want you to step up here and I want to see where she bit you.
I don't even know Cindy to look for a fight.
That's a good bite. Did you see a doctor?
I did see a doctor. I have my medical reports here.
Can I see it?
as well as photographs that documented what the injury was like.
Did you make a police report about this?
The police were called by a neighbor at that time. I tried very hard to get the report before I came. I wasn't able to do so, and the police treated it very nonchalantly. The police told me that Sarah came in earlier, had phoned and said that I beat her up, and they just didn't really take the case
I never
very
even talked
seriously
to
at all.
about that.
Yes.
What the police actually had said that night was that they weren't there to witness anything, and there were two sides to the story, as is now. And
No, there's only one side to the story.
well,
Madam,
at
there's
that
only
point,
one side to the story. If you weren't...
There are
if you-
always two sides to every story.
No, that's what a court is for.
Exactly.
That's what a court is for. And but for the fact that you and your friend followed her to her house, this incident would not have happened. And you and I both know that you weren't following her to her house to go to a party. You were following her to her house because there was bad blood. When that started, I haven't a clue. But you precipitated this because they were on their way home. You weren't on your way home. You were on your way looking for trouble, and you found it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She lied. If it weren't for Tina, none of this would have ever happened.
Right. She did not lie.
She did. You weren't even there.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Anderson versus Liebler, step forward, please.
22-year-old homemaker Shauna Anderson is suing her ex-boyfriend, 21-year-old clerk Caleb Liebler, for an unpaid loan for bail. Caleb says he paid her back.
Miss Anderson, the defendant was a former boyfriend of yours.
Yes.
There came a time when you were angry with him about something, and according to you, you knew that he had stolen something.
Yes.
A stereo, a car stereo. And in order to get back at him, you told the person from whom he had stolen the stereo that he stole the stereo. Is that right?
It wasn't really to get back at him. I knew the person. And
a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
You weren't being a good Samaritan.
No.
He was arrested.
Yes.
And you felt a little bit guilty, so you decided you would help him out and bail him out.
Yes.
The bail money was $500.
Yes.
Then, according to you, he asked you if he could use that bail money to pay his lawyer.
Yes.
You said, okay, but it's a loan.
Yes.
Now, you, Mr. Liebler, acknowledged that it was a loan.
Yes.
Your defense is that you paid her back.
Yes.
Okay? So now we have the facts, and now you have to show me how you paid her back. Right?
Yes.
When did you take the $500 and give it to the lawyer? What date?
Sometime in April.
April
of
5th.
2000.
Of 2000?
Of 2000. This case is 14 months old.
When did you pay her back?
I paid her back from that point on until I left for jail at the end of August.
How did you pay her?
I paid her in...
Don't look at me. Don't look at the
sorry.
sky.
I paid her back in payments. We worked together at Friendly's. We lived together.
From April until August?
Earlier than that.
He did not live with me.
I lived with her in that residence from February until May.
When did you start paying her back? After you separated?
I started paying her back after I left.
After you left the house?
I went back home, still working with her though, at Friendly's. We ended up getting back together.
Okay.
I did not move back with her. I stayed at home, but we were together.
You saw each other?
Right.
Fine.
And whenever she needed money on the weekends, she'd come up to me saying, you owe me money. I need money this weekend. I'm broke. Can I get paid? You know, can you give me something? So I would give her $60, $80 here and there. She does not have a license. She doesn't have a car.
Don't go into extraneous stuff.
I'm not.
You would give her $60, $80.
I'm not.
You have to tell me when.
When? On weekends, Fridays, Saturday nights.
May 2000.
I don't want to hear from you now. It's up to him to convince me that he's paid you back. So I have weekends, $60 or $80.
Yeah, from the end of May through June, on weekends, Friday, Saturday nights. She comes up to me at work. I want to go to a rave. I want to go to the club. I want to go out this weekend. I have no money. Do you have something for me? Would she even ask me for a receipt, but I'm being at work. I'm a cook. I'm greasy and stuff like that. I'm not going to take a receipt and stuff in my pocket. So I just never asked for a receipt. I would give her money on weekends. She lived a half an hour from her job, so there was certain times where I'd actually give her money for hotel rooms to stay in, so she did not have to drive back up to Saratoga, you know, to go home. Because she doesn't have a car. Sometimes we'd work until 2 o'clock in the morning. I paid for hotel rooms just for her to stay in.
You stayed in them too.
Right. Right?
Sometimes.
All the time.
Not all the time.
Miss Anderson, stop doing the weave dance and keep your mouth closed until I ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
What else, Mr. Liebler?
What else? I'll have to say that while I was living with her, there was many expenses.
No, I'm not talking about before. Before May, I'm not interested in.
I gave her money, handouts, whenever she needed it.
Handouts is not the return of a loan.
But that's what it was in terms of. That's what she'd bring up.
Just a
She'd bring
second.
up, you owe me money.
Mr. Liebler, you added in this pot motel rooms that you paid for that you also stayed in.
No, not all the time.
Yeah.
How many times?
I'd say twice. I'd say at least twice.
At least twice, maybe 3 times.
No, twice.
Well, get a receipt. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. Next time, get a receipt.
Simpkins, parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Bainbridge, you and the defendant had been married and you have 2 children together, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
What your complaint alleges is, pursuant to the judgment of divorce, your former wife got possession of a car.
Yes.
And she was to make all the payments on the car, maintain the insurance on the car, and you were held harmless by the court for any further responsibility for the car because it was going to be her car.
Yes, ma'am.
Subsequently, you ascertained that she filed for bankruptcy and listed the credit company that had made the car loan as a creditor, and that debt was discharged in bankruptcy, her bankruptcy.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are on the hook for the car.
Yes, ma'am.
And you think that's unfair.
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Simpkins states that she was forced to file for bankruptcy because of your lack of child support, and that you were noticed in the bankruptcy as someone who had to be noticed because of your on-paper obligation.
Right at the time, I was at NTC.
You were what?
I was in the military, away on training.
And therefore, she's not responsible. So I need some information from both of you. When were you married?
We were married March 10th of 96.
March 30th.
30th, okay.
I always should ask the woman that question. March 30th of 1996. When were you separated?
July 25th of 1999.
That you remember?
Exactly. The date and time.
Any particular reason you remember that date and time?
It's when World War III started.
That's when the locks were changed.
Yeah.
That's when the locks were changed. July 25th, 1999. And when were you divorced?
September of 2000.
And who's going to show me a copy of the judgment of divorce?
I will.
Are you still in the armed forces, sir?
No, ma'am, I'm not.
When were you discharged?
February of this year.
Do you have an order of support for the children, sir? Because this judgment of divorce indicates that you have deferred all issues of custody and support to a juvenile and domestic relations court. Was that ever done?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a copy of that order?
I do not have a copy of my child support.
He's ordered to pay $805 a month if he exercises 90 plus days of visitation a year with the children, and if he does not, he's ordered to pay $896 a month. And he does not. He's never exercised visitation with the children.
All right. Ms. Simpkins, when did you file for bankruptcy?
We filed in September of 2001.
Why?
And it was discharged. Why?
Yeah.
Because bills just got out of, I just couldn't make it anymore.
So for how many months did he not pay child support?
He didn't pay it at all for 3 months, and then I got...
That's incorrect, Your Honor.
And then I got in contact with his commanding officer. I had to forward documents, and I said 805 because at that point my mother was helping me with child care, and that was a fair amount, and that I could support the kids on. And then later on, the 805 was coming, and then Jason and I talked, and my mother wasn't able to watch the kids, and he was supposed to bump his child support up to the 896. And that never happened, and the military said they couldn't do anything about it, and so I was kind of stuck until he came home. And
well, whatever. It was 805. You were getting $805 a month pursuant to a court order, and it was coming right out of his pay.
Right. I was getting, but that was almost $100 short a month.
Well, he says that he's got proof that he paid that money.
Here's a signed letter from me and my wife, the ex-wife, the month that I went into the military. As far as
and he still didn't pay after that.
Well, it seems, Ms. Simpkins, that based upon this agreement that the two of you signed, this wasn't somebody who didn't pay child support. He paid child support, and when he was going into the military and there was going to be a hiatus, the two of you made an arrangement whereas his tax returns were going to be split. You were going to get so much money, and he was going to get so much money on the returns. It's not as if he was a deadbeat.
No,
So I find that your excuse that it was his fault that you filed for bankruptcy somewhat disingenuous.
Well, that was for a previous. I mean, after he went in and that money was applied, there was still no child support until I hunted him down.
You don't have to hunt him down. What you have to do is you have to apply for your allotment. That's what you do.
He had told me that he was going to Fort Bragg.
Yes.
He didn't go to Fort Bragg.
Well,
He
who do
went
you think
to-
that he has the ability to say, I want to go to Fort Bragg?
Well, no, but they told me that's where he told me that's where he was going to be
Maybe that's where they told him he was going. You think he was trying to fool you?
Yes.
You think he was trying to fool you? No, no.
When I went away for
Right.
basic training, Your Honor, I was going to Fort Jackson, and that's where
Listen.
I told her it was. And they found I was colorblind, I couldn't go.
Listen to me very carefully, madam. You may have filed for bankruptcy, and between you and the creditor who you owed money to on the car, the bankruptcy court relieved you of that obligation. However, you have a judgment of divorce.
Right.
You agreed to accept sole responsibility for the car.
Yes, ma'am.
Your judgment of divorce provides that if you don't do that, you are to indemnify him. Make him whole. Because it's your car. Where's the car, by the way?
If we turned it in. I turned it into the.
When did you turn it in?
Oh, gosh. I want to say September of that year.
September of what year?
2000.
And when did you file for bankruptcy?
Not until 2001.
So if you turned it in, you turned it in at the exact same time as you were divorced. And then all you wanted to do was clean your slate. So you turned the car in and you obligated him at the moment that you got a divorce.
No.
Yeah, you did. Oh, sure you did. That was slick. Oh, that was slick.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You assume the responsibility yourself. You're a big girl. You're big enough to make... That's baloney.
That is not.
That's baloney.
No, ma'am.
And later today,
I don't care whether they're divorced or not. If she were the custodial parent and he came to me and said, well, we're not divorced yet, so I'm not paying for anything, I would...
filed bankruptcy on a car in his name. Jason says the creditor is making him responsible for payments.
Why didn't you consent to him having both cars in the judgment of divorce?
Because the divorce was bad and messy, and it was just...
Why didn't you say, here, you take both cars? Maybe you can sell them, maybe you won't get stuck with it. Instead, he's singing along for a year thinking you've got the car,
No,
you're
he
making
knew. No,
payments.
he knew.
You're making payments on the car.
Right.
You're making payments on the car. He's making payments on the other car, I assume.
No,
'Cause there were
that car,
two
he
cars.
turned that car in for repossession as well, so he wasn't making payments on that
That's not true, Your Honor. My father actually paid it off.
after it was repossessed.
So somebody paid it off, so somebody got it off his credit. Well, that's what your parents should have done with your obligation.
No, it's not their job.
It's not his job. You assume the responsibility yourself. You're a big girl.
He wasn't
You're big enough to
paying
make...
child support.
That's baloney.
That is not.
That's baloney.
No, ma'am.
How much did you owe on the car?
According to them, it's $4,353.10.
Let me see it. And that will clear your credit?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you called them with regard to settling this account?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, and what do they say it will take to settle it?
Just the $4,350, what's stated on that piece of paper.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,353.10. Madam, you have to be a grown-up. You obligate yourself to do something, you have to do it. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It was World War III. We didn't get along very well, but she needed to take care of her end of the obligation.
He left a lot of times, and I changed the locks, and that was it.
This is only one of many things that she maliciously did to me.
There was other women involved.
I can't buy a house. I can't get a car. I got to get a judgment on my credit, so now I got to get an attorney to get that off my credit.
For our children, he doesn't bother with them now, so I don't think he'll ever be a major part of their life.
It's been an everyday occurrence as far as her trying to get her payment on the vehicle. I'm glad it's finally over with and justice is perfect.
And says ex-husband Bruce Evans owes for his share of a Honda Accord purchased for their son. Bruce says Barbara didn't consult him first.
Now, I find first that you did in fact agree to pay for half the car. That she in good faith called you and said to you before she purchased the car, I have the ability to purchase this car that I think is a good deal. You said to her, is it a good car? I'd like to come and take a look at it. You're leaving it up to her. And she's a working gal too, I gather, because you say that you moved to accommodate her career, which means that she probably earns more than you do. So that she's a busy girl. So instead of you making the appointment with the neighbor, because I'm sure this is a perfectly nice person that she purchased the car from, and you're not a bad man. I mean, you're not an ex-convict, are you?
No.
Good. So the neighbor wouldn't suggest, I don't want him near me, or near my house, or near my children, or near my family. You're just a nice man. You're a nice man who's got a child who needs a car, a teenager. And you say, listen, I want to come and take the car out because I understand that my ex-wife wants to buy it. That's a very simple thing. Very simple. You chose not to do that. You chose to say, you make the arrangements. And when she didn't make the arrangements, she said to you, give me the $850. You said no. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $850. That's it.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Bruce has been very downright evil to me. He has always manipulated the system. He has never held a full-time job in his whole life.
My ex-wife is just disgruntled. That's all it is.
I have no reason to be disgruntled and upset because I have a very wonderful life. And my life got better after I got rid of him.
For her to get in court and say that I'm not there to take care of my son or not help with my son is just downright ridiculous.
I'm going to applaud and scream with hallelujah when you're out of all of your money. You're nothing but a freeloader.
So Barbara just got some evil ways about her, I guess, and that's all it is.
Don't have babies for men that don't take care of their responsibilities.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Dutcher Wilson versus Lake. Step forward, please.
17-year-old Melissa Wilson and her mother, Sue Dutcher, are suing Melissa's half-sister, 23-year-old college student Beth Lape, for the return of Melissa's personal belongings. Beth is countersuing for rent and for a broken front door.
Melissa.
Yes.
You are how old?
17.
This is your sister.
Yes.
These two young ladies are your daughters. Is that right?
That's correct.
According to your complaint, Melissa, you moved in with your sister.
Yes.
And you have a child who's 4 years old?
Yes, I do.
And you moved in with your child.
Yes, I did.
It didn't work out. You left.
Yes.
And your sister refuses to return property that she says she has that belongs to you, and she acknowledges that she has property that belongs to you. She says you can have the property back when you pay her what you owe her in rent. As far as her counterclaim against your mother is concerned, she says that you have harassed her and some other nonsense, which I'm sure she'll tell me about when I give her a brief opportunity. What property do you have that belongs to your sister?
Clothing, personals, a couple toys of her daughter's.
Why haven't you given it back to her?
When she stayed with me, what happened at the beginning of August of this year, she had called me. We started talking more often, 2-3 times a day. She wanted to move into the city because she lived about an hour away from the city. And she expressed to me on several occasions she wanted to come stay with me. And I said, right, the first couple of weeks she moved, I went and got her on the 17th of August. She wanted to stay. I said, you know, the rest of the month, the 2 weeks, you know, fill out applications. You don't have to worry about, you know, just pick up after yourself. And if I need to babysit here and there, you know, for that or whatever, then that's okay.
Prior to moving into your house, who was she living with?
She was living with her father and stepmother.
Let me cut to the chase, my dear. Your sister is 17 years old. You can't make a contract with her for rent. Do you understand?
I understand. Yes, I do understand.
Good! That's what the law says. The law says unless a court has emancipated her, and I don't hear that any court has emancipated her, she's 17 and she cannot enter into a binding contract to pay you rent. You cannot withhold her property. Do you understand? Good. So 5 days from today, you are to box her property and make sure you box it appropriately and keep it all in
I already
good
boxed it
order.
up. Yeah.
And she will make arrangements to come and pick it up.
Thank
Understood?
you. Yes.
All right. Now, you have a counterclaim against your mother. You want to tell me what that's about?
Yes. On the 8th of October, they had come to my house.
For what?
She had to get her stuff. She had a key.
Okay, she came to your house to get her property
With the
that you
cops.
previously would not give her.
Exactly.
Okay.
She came with a cop. They kicked in the door. Now, she had a key. I still don't understand why they kicked in my door.
Who kicked in your door?
Both of them. I have a police report if you'd like to see it.
Now, where were you when they kicked in the door?
I was upstairs in my children's room laying my youngest one down for a nap. The door was closed. I'm sorry.
How do you know that your mother kicked in the door?
The police told me that.
That's hearsay.
It's in a police report. They both kicked it in. And also my witness. She did see the incident, what happened that day.
Step up. Are you a neighbor of hers or a friend of hers?
I'm her half-sister.
When did you arrive at her home that day?
I'd say between about 4:30 and 5 o'clock.
Were you there when the police arrived?
When I pulled up, there was 2 police cars. I noticed her mother's van there, also her other sister's vehicle there. I noticed Mrs. Dutcher and Miss Wilson exiting Beth's house, yelling and screaming, shouting profanities, so forth, in front of all her neighbors. My nephews were present. They're 2 and 6. confused.
So that my question to you is, you did not see anybody kick in the door?
No.
How did you push in the door?
She unlocked the door with a key. She had a child's riding vehicle jammed between the wall and the door so that we couldn't push it all the way open. And a part of the door did break. It wasn't the lock on the door, but it was the part in the door jamb. The latch.
The cops told me they allowed her to break in because if you lock yourself out, you're allowed to break in.
Oh, just a minute. Wait. I mean, I told you that's hearsay, but you're telling me now that the police told
you to break in if you lock
yourself
out.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Yeah. So
you're allowed to break in, but it's a rental property. You're still responsible for it.
Just a second.
You're still
So what are
responsible
you
for the
telling
door.
me?
What are you talking about? You're still responsible for the door. If you break your own property, it's a rental property. You still
Let
have
me
to
tell
pay
you
for
something,
it.
my
Then
dear.
the landlord would sue us.
Let me tell you something, my dear. It could all have been avoided if when your sister left, you let her take her clothing, the baby's clothing, the baby's toys, and said this didn't work out. What you said to her was, you're not getting the stuff until I get the rent. That's what you said. That's what you said in your answer.
No, I know that.
So, and so you caused the problem yourself. You cannot withhold her property.
I didn't make her lock. She had a key.
Grow up. Your case is just, listen to me. You're getting your stuff back 5 days from today. Your counterclaim is dismissed. And you claim sometime last fall she vandalized your car.
Yes, ma'am.
She, of course, says she doesn't know what you're talking about. When did this happen, sir?
Approximately the fall of 2000.
Fall is a long time.
Around November. I know it was a time when the leaves were falling down because what happened was my car, there were enough leaves in the bin to cover my car completely, several inches thick.
So that's how you knew it was the fall?
Yes.
All right, so sometime in the fall of 2000, what happened to your car?
Well, as a result of the leaves being piled...
What happened to your car? You came outside, you see your car full of leaves. Is that what happened?
Covered with leaves. The surface of the car, the top surface of the car was covered with leaves.
Was this in the morning or in the... Mr. Chilcutt, was this in the morning or in the evening that you noticed the car?
The morning.
And what did you do?
I proceeded to clean the car off.
And then what happened?
That was it. After I cleaned the car off, I noticed that there were many, looked like thousands of tiny scratches in the car, and a couple of deeper scratches on the top of the car, and that was it. At that point, I had no idea that I had witnesses. About 8 months later, I was out waiting for a friend to pick me up, and Joe was outside washing his car, and we were just talking, conversing back and forth, and I told him about my car being vandalized back in the last fall. And he told me, he said, well,
Don't tell me what he told you. He's here, he's going to tell me what he said. Step up here, sir.
That's when he indicated to me.
What's your last name?
Pastillos.
Mr. Pastillos, are you a neighbor of these people?
Yeah, I am.
Did you witness anything happen in the fall of the year 2000 to the plaintiff's car?
Yes, one morning I came out to take off and go somewhere in my car, and I noticed this lady here throwing leaves on top of the cars that were parked in front of her house, which was his car and another neighbor's. And she was just, dumping the leaves all over the car, and a lady across the street yelled out, "What are you doing?" And she proceeded to say, she's off that people always moved her trash cans where they weren't getting picked up, so she was just irate and throwing leaves all over the car. But she also had the trash can on top of the car, so that's what I witnessed.
Okay, and how many cars did you see her dump leaves on? 2. And you sure that one of them was the plaintiff's car?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Yeah, I've been in his car before.
Are you a friend of his?
Yeah.
Are you a friend of his? You hesitated, sir.
Well, we're not friends, we're acquaintances.
All right. So then, can you explain to me why it took you 8 months to tell him what you saw?
Because no one asked me.
You say that you saw the defendant, in effect, vandalizing 2 cars.
Yes.
That another neighbor came out and yelled at her. That she responded that she was unhappy because people were moving her trash cans.
Yes.
And you didn't think it was appropriate at that time to go over to the plaintiff and say to the plaintiff, listen, if I were you, I wouldn't park my car over there anymore because your car is going to get damaged again. This is what I saw. So you mean somebody has to ask you that?
At the time, I didn't know it was his car until that morning. He came up to me and asked me while I was washing my car. And
you didn't, I don't understand. At the time that this happened, you knew the plaintiff. Is that right? He's the plaintiff.
Yeah. I did not know what car belonged to him. I knew him from, being in the building.
I thought
He
you
has
said
a truck. He has a truck and a
I
car.
thought you said you knew the car because you had been in the car before. I asked you, how did you know it was his car? You told me you knew the car because you had been in the car. Isn't that what you just said to me?
Yes.
So if you knew the car because you had been in the car, my question comes back, why didn't you immediately go over and tell him someone has just vandalized your car? Your answer to me was because nobody asked you?
No, when you asked me if I knew his car, I was nervous. That's why I said what I said. I did not know his car.
You didn't know his car?
Didn't.
Did not. And you had never been in his car?
Until after.
No, just a minute. And you had never been in his car?
Correct.
Oh, okay, so now we're going back. You had never been in his car until after this happened?
Correct.
How much after?
2 months after.
So 2 months after you saw this incident occur, which would have been also in the fall or early winter of 2000, you were in his car under what circumstances?
He gave me a ride to pick up my car.
So that was nice of him, right?
Yes.
And at that time, sir, you recognized his car as the car that had been vandalized, I assume?
Yeah.
Well, can you tell me why at that time you didn't discuss it with him?
Because he didn't bring it up.
Your Honor, may I?
No, you may not. He didn't bring it up. You didn't get into the car and say, gee, I didn't realize this was your car. You know, a couple of months ago I saw someone vandalizing your car.
No, I didn't.
So what prompted you a year later to have this revelation and discuss it with Mr. Chilcutt?
Like he said, when I was washing my car, he came up to me, struck up a conversation, and mentioned that he was mad about the fact that someone was marking up his car.
So you said a year ago I saw somebody messing up your car. Is that what happened? Is that what happened?
No.
What did you tell him?
I told him what I witnessed.
A year ago?
Yes.
A year before? Good, sit down. What else do you want to tell me?
Your Honor, I asked Joe the same question. Why didn't you tell me previously? And at the time, he told me...
I don't want you to tell me what he told you. I just had him up on the stand. He testified. What else do you want to tell me?
Just that damage has been done to my car. Joe saw the lady doing the damage.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. I don't believe that he, according to him, he first knew your car, then he didn't know your car. He had never seen your car before. He was in your car. He wasn't in your car. That's your only witness.
Your Honor, he's
it's not
nervous.
Enough. It's not enough.
Judge Judy. Stephen Chilcutt is suing his neighbor, Angela May, for dumping a garbage can full of leaves on top of his car.
I have to base a case on evidence. You don't even know the date that it happened. Sometime in the fall, around November. He doesn't know whether he's afoot or horseback. And if that's your only witness, you have no case, sir. Do you understand?
I have another statement from another neighbor who
I don't
couldn't
take
be here.
statements, I take witnesses. And do you want to know why I take witnesses? Because if I took his statement, I would find her guilty. But after examining him, sir, he didn't see nothing that I can rely on. Do you understand? So I don't take statements. Do you have anything else? You have any other witnesses?
I have no other witnesses.
Good. Thank you for your time. Case is over. Dismissed.
Parties are excused. They step out.
I can't even get to give my story.
According to my witness, she tipped it up on top of the car and scraped it across the car.
We have those big green trash cans from the city. I could no more pick up one of those big green trash cans than fly.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Holiday, Presley versus Llewellyn. Step forward, please.
30-year-old court collector Laura Holliday and 20-year-old Autumn Presley are suing 23-year-old cashier Erica Llewellyn for attorney's fees resulting from a false police report. Erica claims Laura and Autumn keyed her car.
Who is Miss Halliday? I am. And Miss Priestley, that's...
Presley.
Presley? Mm-hmm. Okay. According to your complaint, you believe that the defendant falsely accused you of keying her car, as a result of which you were arrested, had to hire an attorney, and ultimately, I assume, found not guilty. And you want her to pay the attorney's fees. And some small amount for harassment. The defendant says she believes she had good cause to notify the police of your involvement in vandalizing her car. So the first thing I have to know is, how do you ladies know each other?
My husband has a son with her.
Your husband has a child with the defendant?
Correct.
How long are you married?
3 years.
How old is your child?
He'll be 4 in February.
And you?
A child also with her husband.
And you have a child with her husband?
Her husband.
With her husband? And how old is your child?
She will be 4 in March.
He must have been very busy 4 years ago. Do you have any children with him?
No.
Okay, so that's how you know each other. Each of you have 4-year-olds with her husband.
Yes.
And you two are friends. When did this alleged incident of vandalizing your car take place?
In between the dates of March 16th and to the 18th of 2001.
On the 16th, the car was okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did you find on the 18th?
I had really bad key marks on both sides of my car. I had it on the trunk and on the hood.
Can I see pictures of it? Do you have pictures?
I do not have pictures.
Okay. Do you have a police report?
Yes, I do.
Can I see the police report?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, I assume there's no question that you contacted the police and gave the police at some point the plaintiffs' names as the perpetrators of this act of vandalism. When did you do that? How much after the incident?
Almost a week.
It was on the 26th of March.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so what happened on the 26th of March that suggested to you that the two plaintiffs were responsible for the damage?
My next door neighbor, I hadn't talked to her within that week, came over.
Told you something?
Yeah.
Is your next door neighbor here?
No, she's not.
Well, that's interesting because your testimony with regard to that would be hearsay. However, there are certain exceptions to the hearsay rule. And one of those exceptions is, if I don't take it for the truth of the statement, but merely that it was said to you that caused you to do something else, which in this case would be to call the police, I can hear what she told you and then make a determination myself as to whether or not she actually told it to you.
Okay.
Not whether she saw it, but whether she told it to you. All right, so you had a conversation with your neighbor. Tell me what your neighbor said to you.
She told me that Saturday night that she seen a white Jeep parked across the street, and she sat there and watched them for a little bit, and she said she seen them walk over and key my car and then take off laughing.
Did she describe the people?
She did describe the people. She actually said they were both white. She said that they had long hair and they were a little bit thick, or well, I don't know how to explain it, but they were bigger women.
Do you have any police reports?
These are the copies of what she has as her statement.
She didn't give me anything but one sheet of paper. Interview in this police report from your neighbor?
No, the neighbors, none of her witnesses showed up in the court either that dismissed the case.
My neighbor is extremely sick.
That doesn't prevent the police from going and taking a statement.
Right. When I told them who it was and where she was, they did not even take any kind of initiative to talk to her.
I have a statement from the car dealership. My car was in the shop the week of the 15th to the 20th.
Let me see. So you actually never went to trial in this case?
No.
To whom it may concern, this Jeep Cherokee was at Extreme Auto Credit Inc. for repairs. Did you show this to the police?
The police never contacted us. We gave it to our attorney.
Now, what would make you think that these two, other than this statement, which I find difficult to believe because the fact that this alleged witness who told you about what she saw couldn't come to this court today, there's certainly no reason why this witness couldn't go to a local court, right?
Yeah, but she's extremely sick.
Well, maybe she's too sick to see what she said she saw. What would make you think that these two women would do such a thing to your car?
I've had problems with Miss Halliday for years, and just this year I just started having problems with Miss Priestley.
Why would you have problems with them?
I've been back and forth in court for like the last 4 years because she's taken me to court for stuff that she has said I've done that I haven't.
Like what?
Like judgments. She's took me to court for trying to get restraining orders against me several times.
Yeah.
She stated that I stalked her and all this, and I've never stalked her.
A couple of basic questions. Put your papers down. Did you ladies know each other before you had this mutual Don Juan? What's his name, by the way, your husband? Ernie. Before Ernie, did you ladies know each other?
No. No.
So it would be fair to say that any disputes that you've had, and I assume that there have been some negative feelings about children, child support, visitation, seeing all these children, that without Ernie, you would not have any problems with each other. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, probably.
Do these children visit Ernie?
Yeah, Ernie has full custody of 2 of them.
Of both of these children?
No. He had joint with her. Then we have a custody trial coming up in April.
So the child lives with
me.
You. And what about your child?
Mine lives with him.
Lives with Ernie? And lives with you?
Correct.
For how long?
About a year now.
Ernie has other children?
Yes.
How many more children does Ernie
Ernie
have?
has 5 children.
Ernie has 5. She says 6.
By 5 different people. We also had I was with Ernie for 6 years before them two had got together, and we had a daughter together that unfortunately passed away.
That was the 6th,
Yes,
I assume that you're talking about. You think you're going to stay with Ernie forever?
I don't know.
If I were an odds maker, I would say no. So I'm going to give you all a little bit of advice. You didn't ask me for it, but you're here, and you're a captive audience, so I'm going to tell you. You're making a fool over yourselves, each of you, for somebody that's probably not worth being a doormat for you to wipe your feet on.
I agree.
I mean, the fact that you got snookered in by this thing for some periods of time, for 4 years, for 5 years, for a year, it's a mistake. But to be involved in litigation, to be involved in harassing each other, just ridiculous. Don't you agree? You got to put a stop to it.
Yes, ma'am, I agree.
We tried at one point. We were getting along at one point, and I loaned her money to get her license back and such, and she never paid me back. That's what one of the court cases was about.
She never gave me a chance to pay her back.
Whatever. So it seems to me, this sounds almost like a communal marriage. Listen, you all don't have to really like each other. The fact that you have this common thread in Ernie is unfortunate, but it doesn't make you family. I mean, I assume you have to go over there to pick up your child who Ernie has custody of. Do you have other children?
Yes, I do.
How many other children?
I have 2 other children.
Where do they live?
With me.
Well, why does this child live with Ernie?
Because Ernie has custody of her.
Did you voluntarily give Ernie custody of the 4-year-old?
Yes, I did.
Why would you do that?
Because we were going through court at the time, and they were trying to have me pay for something that I shouldn't have been paying for
Like
when
what?
I think it was from when she was born, and he just took over the responsibility to pay the bill. So in order for him to take over the bill, he had to have custody.
Come on, you're being a little obtuse here. Give it to me straight.
That's why he got custody.
No.
Yes.
No. You mean if he pays the bill, he gets custody? That's why they gave him custody? Was that your contract with him? Was that your agreement with him?
No, it wasn't a contract.
Bunch of wackos. You're all a bunch of wackos. You have no case. She probably had grounds to call in a report that she believed that you had damaged her car. The fact that your car may have been in the shop, may not have been in the shop, that also was hearsay, by the way, the letter that you gave me. And you probably have done the same thing to her. How many times have you been to court with her?
I went to court with her a few times. One time was when she kicked in my door and came at me with a butcher knife. The other time was when the police had to remove her from my property.
So you've been involved a few times with each other?
Yes, ma'am. That was the same day that she was
Listen, you want to make fools over yourselves.
I don't.
With regard to Ernie's tentacles, you're going to continue to do that.
I have
and I
nothing to
can't
do with
help
Ernie.
you, but we certainly aren't going to.
All parties in the matter of Tarter versus Hughes, step forward, please.
Bus driver Catherine Tarter is suing her estranged son-in-law, 25-year-old salesman Donald Hughes, for the cost of a trailer. Donald says Catherine is angry about his pending divorce from her daughter.
Miss Tarter, the defendant is your soon-to-be ex-son-in-law. And
Yes.
according to your complaint, he owes you some money for a trailer. Is that right?
Yes.
The defendant says he's paid you a substantial amount of money for the trailer, doesn't owe you any more. You have the motorhome that went with the trailer. He doesn't have it in his possession. It's not on his property. I assume this is your daughter?
Yes.
How long have you been married?
4 years, Your Honor.
You have children?
Yes, I do.
How many children?
I have a 1.5-year-old daughter, and then I had 2 sons that came with the marriage that are still dear to me.
And who does that child live with?
I have sole custody.
Is that after a hearing, after a trial?
Yes.
Does their mother have visitation with the children?
No, she does. She has 2 hours supervised visits a week.
Does she exercise the visitation?
Sometimes.
Prior to the divorce, did you have a reasonable relationship with Mr. and Mrs. Tarter?
Yes, I did.
Is that right?
Yes.
How many children do you have?
I have 2 girls.
How many grandchildren do you have?
3.
How much money was this trailer?
It was $4,000.
Just for the trailer?
Just for the trailer, and the motorhome was $4,000, so they agreed upon $8,000.
And how much do you say it was, sir?
It was $4,000 altogether for both of them.
Is there a writing with regard to that?
We had a verbal agreement.
Is there a writing with regard to that, is my question.
No.
How much have you paid them for the trailer?
I paid them $1,950 for the trailer and the motorhome together.
But you only have
I only have the trailer.
The trailer. Did Mr. Hughes pay you $1,950?
No, ma'am.
How much did he pay you?
The motorhome broke down.
I'm not talking about the motorhome.
Okay, well,
he doesn't have the motorhome.
He paid us, I know, they returned it, so therefore all the payments that were paid individually towards the motorhome and the trailer were forfeited. And they were always...
Forfeited by whom?
By us. It was written down where when he paid us money, that $75 would go towards the motorhome and $75 would go towards the trailer. When one was given back in case they decided they couldn't afford it, or that it broke down, which the motorhome did, and they couldn't afford to fix it, they gave it back to us. So therefore, the motorhome payments, which were $425, was forfeited, and then $425 was credited towards the utility trailer.
All I'm asking you is that in writing someplace?
I typed up a legal contract because
Did he
at first
sign
it? He refused to sign it.
The answer is you do not. You do not have that in writing. Is that correct?
My daughter signed it, and
I don't care what your daughter signed, madam. I mean, I happen to think that you're missing a few screws, and I'm going to tell you why. You have a 1.5-year-old granddaughter. Your soon-to-be ex-son-in-law has sole custody, which suggests to me that if you want to maintain a relationship, and it seems to me you enjoyed a reasonable relationship with him before, if you want to enjoy a reasonable relationship with your granddaughter, you should keep him on your good side and not sue him, because it would appear to me that your daughter had to be a pretty deficient person in order to end up at the end of a custody dispute with 2 hours a week supervised visitation. Do we understand each other?
Yes, ma'am.
Why would a normal person who has 3 grandchildren risk the wrath of their custodial parent over nonsense? Over nonsense. He's paid your money. And how much child support is your daughter paying for her daughter?
She's not, and they're not divorced yet.
I don't care whether they're divorced or not. If she were the custodial parent and taking care of the child, and he came to me and said, in the course of a legal dispute, and I said to him, how much money are you paying for child support? And he said, well, we're not divorced yet, so I'm not paying for anything. I would wipe up the floor with him.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Catherine Tarter says her estranged son-in-law, Donald Hughes, owes for the cost of a trailer. Donald says his soon-to-be ex-wife is a drug addict.
Now, I asked you a simple question. The simple question was, how much money was paid to you by him for either the trailer and or the motorhome?
$425 for the trailer and $425 for the motorhome.
Are you passive-aggressive? How much money was paid in total for both things? Just don't give me $425 for each. How much money do you say was paid in total?
$850.
Okay. And you say $1,950.
Yes, I do.
Could you prove that to me?
No, I can't. I have no receipts due to my house being taken from my wife, and then when I got my house back, I had no paperwork, no receipts, no pink slips.
They say $850. What makes you think it was $1,950?
Because I paid on time, sometimes a couple days late, but every month was paid since October of 2002 until December of 2003.
So far, is that right?
No, Your Honor, I have a payment schedule here showing.
Paid to you. Okay. $1,450 is, by your calculations, what he paid to you. Not $850, $1,450, based upon this.
Your Honor, those payments were divided up between the motorhome and the trailer equally.
I just told you, he doesn't have the motorhome, you do.
No, we sold it since then.
Well, that's not my problem, that's not his problem.
Well, I asked him to return the motorhome when he refused the one payment and took it back.
Miss Tarter, you're not following me. If you think they owe you anything for the motorhome, get it from your daughter. Do I make myself clear? You are a very foolish lady. A very foolish lady. If I were in your position, I would not alienate the father the custodial parent of my granddaughter, I would not alienate him. And for a very stupid reason, money. You
Well,
did.
this has been going on for over a year.
No, that's not true. Because December of 2003, which is not over a year, he made a payment to you of $500. That's according to your own record.
But we sold it to him on March 03, is when the trailer and the motorhome was sold to them.
Did you hear what I said to you? It's not been going on for over a year. He made a payment to you of $500 in December of 2003.
Yes, he caught it.
When was the last time your daughter sent any money for the support of his child?
March. That's not an issue. They're not divorced
It's
yet.
an issue, madam, if you're using your brains.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
March of 2003. Was she employed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Where was she employed?
At Child Time.
Until when?
October of 2003.
And what did she do with her money?
I thought she was paying bills, but she wasn't. She was using it on drugs.
Was she placed in a rehab?
I placed her in a rehab in January.
Did she stay?
She stayed for 60 days, Your Honor. And then she was supposed to go to a halfway house, and she ended up getting kicked out of there for doing it again, drinking.
Where are her other two children?
One lives with his father, and the other one lived with the grandparents.
Ms. Tarter, I find that the defendant has paid you $1,450 for a trailer. I find that your agreement was $4,000 for the trailer and the motorhome, not $8,000. Whatever deficiency there is, I suggest you get it from your daughter. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Who's Brian?
Me.
Who's Anthony?
Me.
Everybody else sit down. How old are you, Brian?
9.
How old are you, Anthony?
12.
Brian, you were riding your bike near Anthony's house, is that right?
Yes.
And something happened and you fell off your bike and you broke your tooth.
Mm-hmm.
Just one tooth?
2 teeth.
2 teeth.
Yes.
You want to tell me what happened and how it happened that you fell off your bike?
I was riding my bike up the hill, and then I saw Anthony washing his motorbike. So I said, "Bet you can't squirt me with the hose," and he ran up and pushed me off my bike.
You saw Anthony and he was doing a chore, washing his bike. So you said to him, "I bet you can't squirt me with that hose?" Why did you say that to him?
I don't know.
Well, that was pretty silly, wasn't it?
Yes.
Well, what if he started chasing you with the hose? That's what you asked him to do. You bet him, right?
Yes.
Would you have liked that?
No.
So what happened after you said to him, "Bet you can't squirt me with that hose"?
He ran up and pushed me off my bike.
He did? Is that what happened, Anthony?
No.
What happened, Anthony?
Well, after you said that, like, I pretended like I was gonna squirt him with the hose. Like, I pointed at him. And so I started running after him, and then, like...
With the hose or without the hose?
Without the hose, because I dropped it because I couldn't reach him. So, like, when I was running after him, he was, like, trying to avoid it. So he hit the curb, and he flipped.
How far away from you was he when he hit the curb and flipped? Show me someplace in this room.
Well, right there, maybe.
Where? Walk up and point to it.
Right here.
Okay, now step back. So what you're telling me, Anthony, is you never touched his bike?
Nope.
Now, Brian, you were riding away from him?
Yes.
Is that because he was chasing you?
Yes.
So you're looking in the other direction? How do you know he bumped you off your bike? Did you turn around and look to see where he was?
Yes.
And when you turned around and looked to see where he was, what happened?
I saw him push my bike.
No, I don't think you did, Brian. I don't think you saw him push your bike. I think he was chasing you. But I don't think at the very moment that he pushed your bike, you turned around to look at him. You might have turned around and hit a curb and fell. And he was chasing you. And the reason you fell off your bike is because he was chasing you. There's no question about that. But you made up a little bit of fib when you said he pushed you, because I don't believe he pushed you. Understand? Because that was a fib you just told me, that you turned around at the exact moment he pushed your bike and you saw him push it and you fell off. That's a fib. That doesn't mean he might not be responsible, because he was chasing you. You were trying to get away from him, but you Started out by teasing him. Why were you teasing him?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. Here you go. Now, I understand that when... Now I need the two mothers up here, please. Now, I understand that when this happened, Ms. Sicklese, I understand that Anthony or you went and got Brian. Somehow he got to your house.
Well, my older son came in and said that Anthony had the hose and that Brian was taunting the boys. They race motorcycles, so he was washing his bike, and him and another little boy were taunting the boys.
Brian, were you with somebody else?
Yes.
Who were you with?
Robbie, my friend.
How old is Robbie?
I think 9.
And was Robbie saying anything to Anthony and his brother?
No.
Just you?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So he had warned them, get off our driveway, and because they live far down the street, and so for them to be, up there, and so Anthony, had warned them.
They're allowed to be up there. They're just, listen, he's a 9-year-old kid. They're playing kids' games. I bet you can't hit me with that bike. I bet you can't squirt me. And then they turn around and they ride away. Right? He decides he's going to try to get him with the hose. Hose doesn't reach. Hose doesn't reach. He starts chasing him. He's turning around, not looking where he's going. He falls off his bike. That's what happened. You don't have to be a genius to figure that out unless you're trying to blame somebody else.
Yeah.
All right. So, but he came to your house.
He split his chin, and he had his knee was scratched. So I brought him in my house.
You brought Brian into your house.
And I told the other little boy, go get his dad. Now, the other little boy went to go get his dad, not Brian's dad. And so I brought him in the bathroom and put
you took care of Miss Best.
Yes.
Well, who came to finally get him?
I took him home, and then I talked to the father, and the father was very upset, which I understood. I mean, his child was hurt, and he was venting, and I was, Well,
what was he saying to you? Step up.
That
what?
That our kids have problems and they have no supervision.
Why were you?
And I was saying sorry.
Just a second. Why were you involved in that kind of conversation with us, sir?
Well, there was some admittance that he was pushed off the bike, and
just a second. What did Anthony say to you? Did he admitted pushing him off the bike?
Anthony's brother was down there, and I said, "Where's the father figure?" I said, "There's nobody watching these kids."
Listen, your son was at their house. What's wrong with you?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Does your street have two sides to it?
He was riding up on the sidewalk.
He's giving you baloney. Just because he's yours doesn't mean he won't give you baloney.
And later today,
we also have copies of the checks that were written
to Amy, not to me.
But there is no way that Amy would steal money from my grandmother.
Listen to me, Mr. Hoffman.
You don't know about.
You don't know that.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 9-year-old Brian Jerse says neighbor 12-year-old Anthony Sicklese shoved him off his bike. Anthony claims he never touched him.
Your son was at their house. They didn't come to your house. He was there, and he was teasing them. The lady brought him home to you because you weren't out there supervising him. He's 9. Quiet. He's 9. You weren't out there supervising him. She went in, took care of him, brought him back to you. So, I read that, and I said, why would a grown man open up a mouth like that to this lady? Any reason?
No,
you just lost your temper?
I saw my kid covered in blood.
Yeah.
There had been prior instances with Anthony teasing my son, and I just, I made a couple of comments like that.
Well, then you were wrong.
Okay.
Because your son started it. You understand that? Okay. So, and if he got hurt, he got hurt. That's all he's got to know. He can't tease people, especially people who are older, people who are bigger. But we're not talking about a 9-year-old and a 25-year-old. We're talking about a 9-year-old and an 11-year-old who are about the same size. Right?
Yes.
So, it happens. That's what happens with boys. So you don't get that kind of upset, sir, especially to somebody who's trying to do the right thing. Now, I don't know anything about these boys. I don't know about their history. I don't know if they're wise, Alex. That may be. He may be a little bit of a Weisenheimer, this one over here. This one.
He's more outgoing than my oldest one.
Oh, well, he was one with a smirk on his face, so I wasn't exactly sure what that
He's
smirk
nervous.
was. Are you nervous? Am I making you nervous?
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
So he's like, he was.
I thought like you got that from my hair, so I.
Well, I thought you could use a little bit of a comb down, but that's, I understand that's the style these days, so I have to go with it. You're not mine. It's fine with me. Oh, I don't know what you were upset about. So you're upset because you saw your son injured. That doesn't necessarily mean you have the right to take off against the boy's mother.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Brian and Robbie were on their way up to Robbie's house. They had to ride their bikes past their house to get to Robbie's house. And in numerous incidents before this incident, these boys had stopped Robbie and Brian, saying they could not pass them on the street to go back and forth between
So
Robbie's
as a
house
result
and
of
my
that,
house.
Brian stopped and said to them, I bet you can't squirt me with the hose. Does your street have two sides to it?
He was on the opposite side of the street.
No, he wasn't.
That's
No,
according
he
to
wasn't.
Brian.
No,
He was not
he
in the
wasn't.
driveway, according to
No, he wasn't. He was on the drive. He was close to the driveway. He wasn't on the other side of the street.
He was riding up on the
He's
sidewalk.
giving you baloney. Just because he's yours doesn't mean he won't give you baloney.
I had another instance with Anthony.
I'm not interested. I'm interested in this one. And in this one, he started it. He finished it. She's not responsible. They started it. And I don't believe that he pushed the bike. I believe that he chased him and he fell off the bike. I don't believe he pushed him off the bike. You're not that evil, are you? Try to be nice to each other. That's what the world's all about. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
They became very hostile after we made a police report.
We tried to settle it, but they didn't want to settle it.
Flipped us off when they'd go by my husband.
Wanted to get attorneys first, and this is where we're at now.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Smith Huffman versus Warden. Step forward, please.
26-year-old prep cook Amy Smith and chef Stephen Huffman are suing Amy's ex-friend, 26-year-old homemaker Kelly Warden, for stealing money. Kelly says Amy is pulling a fast one.
According to this complaint, you gave the defendant a certain amount of money.
Yes.
Money that she was to give to an attorney because you were in the process of seeking a divorce.
Yes.
It is your claim that she stole that money, never turned it over to anyone except herself. You want it back. Defendant says this is a whole story that's made up by you because you took this money from your grandmother and spent it. What does this man have to do with anything?
This is my brother Steven. He came down with me to get receipts and a phone number from the lawyer.
Oh, he's a witness?
Yes.
Why don't you have a seat? Okay. When did you first approach her about seeking some advice about a lawyer?
In December, I told her that I had to find a lawyer so I can do a legal separation or a divorce. And she said that she could help me out. I thought I could trust her.
Gives her qualifications to help you out with anything?
Well, she told me she already went through a divorce. She told me how much it would be. It was like $920. I gave her that money, and then she called me again.
Just a second. Why did you give her the money?
Because I lived an hour away, and it was like I didn't have a vehicle or anything.
Does anybody in your family have a car?
Yes, but they work, and I'm not allowed to drive their cars.
Go ahead. So you gave her money for the lawyer without even calling the lawyer?
I asked her if I can get the phone number.
Is the answer yes or no?
No.
You didn't call the lawyer?
I couldn't. She didn't give me the number.
Of course you could. Keep going, Miss Smith. So you gave her $920?
Plus $500 and something.
When did you give her the other $500?
She came up to New Berlin, up to my grandmother's house. My grandmother wrote the check out to me, and she said it would be better if I gave her cash and stuff, so I signed the check and cashed it.
And the money never got to a lawyer, is that what
No.
you're telling me? And when did you find that out?
My brother and I and my father went down to her trailer to get the rest of my stuff because I was moving down there, and then I decided to move back.
Moving down where?
To West Windsor.
So you managed to get somebody to drive you down
My
there on
brother
a Thursday?
took off work.
Listen to me.
Sorry.
You managed to get somebody to drive you down.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Stand up. Your last name is?
Hoffman.
In 30 seconds or less, you tell me what you know about this money.
My grandmother allowed Amy to borrow the money from her. We drove Amy down that day because everybody in the family thought, well, why would you why didn't you get any receipts from her, from this lawyer? So we finally...
Because that's what she was telling you. She was telling you that listen to me.
She basically
Mr.
manipulated.
Huffman, your sister was telling you that. And she gave her a receipt.
Handwritten receipts from a lawyer.
Miss Warden says that your sister asked her to write out these receipts because she had taken the money from your grandmother.
Yep.
Let me hear what she told you.
Amy called me up and said that she was in trouble, that she was her husband had just left her. He was filing bankruptcy. She says, well, my grandmother is going to give me a couple of checks. Will you please come up and take me to the bank and cash them? December 9th, we went to her grandmother's, picked up a check for $920, cashed the checks at Key Bank, and she decides she wants to go shopping. We went to Walmart. She bought me a numerous amount of clothing, my daughter all kinds of clothing, toys.
So what you're saying is she took this money from her grandmother. Now I want you to tell me, because I read it in your answer, what she said to you about these receipts that she wanted you to sign.
Her mother and father were harping on her for some receipts. So she asked me, she says, Kelly, could you please write me some receipts, please? I want one saying that I gave a lawyer $920. No big deal. I was helping my best friend. And then she asked me if I'd write another one for $1,420. I said, sure, no problem.
Those are the two receipts that you have.
So I wrote them.
These are the two receipts that Kelly wrote, and we also have copies of the checks that were written.
To Amy, not to me. To Amy.
That's true. They were written to Amy, but there is no way that Amy would steal money from my grandmother.
Listen to me, Mr. Huffman.
You don't know about
You don't know that. Okay. Did your sister ever hold a job?
She holds a job, but she's very ill sometimes. She has asthma.
I have asthma.
Shh. Please, could you do me a favor and be quiet? I don't want to hear you again until I ask you a question. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Perfect. Mr. Huffman, your sister's story doesn't sound true to me. Do you understand? And I know it's very hard for you and your family to say she took money from her grandmother under false pretenses. But somehow it doesn't make sense to me that what appears to be two relatively intelligent people, you certainly, your sister sounds perfectly normal to me, would say, I want to get a divorce. Take $1,420 and without speaking to the lawyer. First $900, needed more, haven't spoken to the lawyer. Another $500.
Us as a family were asking Amy, what are you doing? We said, why didn't you get information for her? At one point, Kelly called her down and said...
Did she ever say to you...
She had paperwork.
Shh. Mr. Huffman, did your sister ever say to you, could you take a day off from work and drive me to the lawyer's office?
I would have. Amy...
To ask me the question, did your sister ever say that to you?
No, she didn't. She was in a vulnerable state in her life.
No. Listen to me, sir. She did it because she took the money.
Amy did not use the money.
Yes, she did. Your sister's story doesn't make sense because she has family, she's close to her brother, and the reason she gives me for not going to the lawyer herself initially is because the lawyer was an hour away, and she doesn't have a car, she doesn't have an access to a car, but she has access to you.
Her husband handled all this stuff before, and she didn't know how to do it, and she wanted to do things on her own. To prove to us as family members that she could do something herself.
Did she ask you to help her move down to...
She asked my other brother.
And did he?
No.
Shh. Did he bring her... Did somebody take a day off from work? Who took a day off from work?
Friend of my brother's.
But your other brother did, according to your sister.
No, he did not take a day off of work.
What part of close your mouth didn't you understand? Close your mouth. Each one of those words has one syllable. I'm not trying to confuse you. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand, Mr. Huffman? Your sister took the money and she spent it. She did not give it to her. She may have spent some of the money on her. She may have bought her clothes. She may have bought her things. But no normal person says, here's the money for the lawyer, and I don't have to talk to the lawyer. So your case is dismissed.
That's why we went up there.
That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Why does our excuse step out? Sanford versus Alexander.
Thank you.
Prize has been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Ms. Sanford, the defendant had been your boyfriend. According to your complaint, you had an argument one evening. You were out at a series of bars, and the defendant caused some damage to your car. In addition, you claim that he assaulted and hurt you.
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Now, when did this incident occur? What date?
August 13th.
Where had you been that evening?
We went out to eat first. Then I got a phone call from a friend saying there was a party. So we went to the party. I saw my friend there When we got there, we didn't recognize anybody there that we knew. So Soren then suggested another bar. And when we pulled in to the parking lot, I realized it was a strip bar. I immediately said, I'm going to stay in the car. I refused to go in. But then they talked me in, they said they were only going to have one beer.
By this time, what time was it?
12:30. It was getting late. Bars were closing.
Okay. Did you go into the bar?
Yes, I did.
And you stayed for how long?
Enough for them to have 2 pitchers of beer.
Just the 2 of them? Did you drink?
No, I did not. I was
Your Honor, she was drinking as well. We went out for dinner.
drinking before then.
All right. What time did you leave that bar?
When it closed.
What time?
That was the only reason why we left. 1 o'clock, I think. 1:30.
And what happened when you got into the car?
An incident happened before we even got in the car. We walked out of the bar, and he immediately was furious, punching the window, and he punched it like 5 or 6 times. And then he's like, open the door, unlock the door. And I was like trying to get the keys out of my pocketbook. As soon as we got in the car, I was like, why are you hitting my window? That was why the whole fight just started out. He wanted to get out of the car, because
was he sitting in the front passenger seat?
Yes, he was.
And you were driving?
Yes, I was.
Go ahead. Now you're driving along and he wants to get out.
I wasn't going in the correct direction to another bar that he wanted to go to, but the way he was disrespecting me the whole entire night, I refused to bring him to another bar. So he grabbed the steering wheel, slammed the car into a curb, just missing a pole. I was in shock, so I just got out of the car. And that's when, I don't even know if I was yelling anything. That's when he grabbed my arm and started throwing me up and down, like flinging me around like a rag doll. And I hit my hip on it was cement steps. Got out of the car, furious, and Soren ran from the scene.
So what happened to your car?
Instant flat tire and multiple damages to the right side of the car.
Do you have photographs of the car?
Yes, I do. This is the rims. I have proof that I have bent rims.
Let me
I
see
also
the
have
pictures of the car.
receipts of all the damage.
Just a minute. Okay. Did you seek any medical treatment?
Yes, I did.
When?
About 3 days later. I have medical proof of that. And he also came to the doctor's appointment with me and to get x-rays because my hip hurt so bad.
Did you in fact go to the doctors with her?
Yes, I did. She said that she had hurt her side, and I said, there's no way that you got damaged enough that she thought she had a cracked pelvis. I'm like, there's no way you'd be walking around for 3 days.
But she complained to you that she had in fact been injured.
3 days later.
And you were...
If she was really injured, then she would have gone that night. She wasn't injured.
But you were sufficiently concerned to accompany her to the doctor, is that right?
She requested that I go with her, and I said, fine, I will.
Were you still seeing each other then?
At the point of the accident, I really didn't want to see her ever again.
Did you see her again?
Yes.
Until when?
Till the day that I paid her the final check.
Which was what date?
Check date was 11/25.
So you continued to see her until November?
Yes.
Now, in your defense, you said you would pay for the damage to the car. And you immediately gave her some money. How much money did you give her?
I gave her $200 cash 1 week, and then I gave her $100 cash the next week after we spoke. And at each week, I asked her, can I have a statement so that I can see what I'm paying for? She got irate with me. She said, I don't have a statement. All I have is a receipt for a total bill. And I said, well, then what do I know that you've done to the vehicle? Have you fixed the side, or have you fixed other things? At the time that I issued the check for $180.
Then you gave her another check for $180?
Yes, because...
How much later?
That was probably about another 2 weeks after.
So far, that's all correct. He's given you $480.
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
She then, after I issued her this check, said, now you're going to pay for the rim, right? And I said, no, I'm not paying for the rim. It's warped because you drove away on the rim with the flat tire. Then she wanted payment for the rear of the vehicle. Well, nowhere in her statements does she say the rear of the vehicle got damaged. She just wants more money for other things that never took place.
Let me see the final check that you wrote to her, sir.
The check also says paid in full,
yes,
and she cashed
that's what you said in your answer. What kind of car is this?
It's a Hyundai Tiburon FX 97.
Are you driving it?
Yes, I am. I'm driving it damaged right now. It has 2 bent rims on the right side.
How could it have 2 bent rims?
Because it hit on the right side and it wrecked both rims on impact.
Why didn't you tell him that immediately?
I did. He knew all of this. He even made me go to his mechanic to get all this done.
Yeah,
I wanted to bring it to my mechanic. This is all the receipts from that. And he was...
And you have, is that $172?
I believe that's what it says.
$172 times 2.
Well, why would it be times 2? I don't understand. She said front right damage, not rear damage. It's the front right side of the vehicle that we're talking about.
How did the rear rim were dented? How? That's what I don't understand. You only had one flat tire, is that right?
Yeah, but when he hit the curbing, he hit both rims on the curb. I have pictures of 2 rims being dented.
You mean it hit, but it hit harder on the front?
We were going 40 miles an hour.
All right. No, hers is less, sir. I would take hers rather than this one. Because you have 172 times 2. She has 221 for the whole kit and caboodle. That's $505. Now, your lawsuit seeks $1,800.
For pain and suffering due to him throwing me around. I worked
Miss Sanford,
I worked 2 jobs.
Miss Sanford, I would have entertained your application for pain and suffering as a result of being thrown on the 15th of August if you hadn't maintained your relationship with him until November.
I only did that to seek my money, Your Honor.
Baloney! Baloney!
Try to work things out. It didn't work out.
Then you try to work things out. It didn't work out. Then you don't say a year later or 6 months later or 8 months later, now I want my pain and suffering. That doesn't work.
It's been taking that long to get anything from him. I went through a lot of pain. He even saw me.
Just a second. I can understand you went through a lot of pain. If you wrote him a goodbye note, said goodbye to him, came into court and said he assaulted me, and if you didn't want to proceed criminally, you proceed civilly, right? I could say fine, but if you, I mean, did you have an intimate relationship with the defendant? Answer my question.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you have an intimate relationship with the defendant after August 15th?
I don't know, Your Honor. I don't think so. We didn't get along very well. I could tell you that.
I don't care whether you got along very well or not.
He took me out to eat
a couple
times.
What?
He took me out to dinner a couple times after this all happened.
Miss Sanford, you're telling me you had an intimate relationship with him before and afterwards he maintained a relationship with you and you no longer had an intimate relationship with him for 3 months? Is that what you're telling me? You want me to believe that? No, you don't. But he is responsible for the damage he caused to your car because he took control of the steering wheel of the car. The car was in an accident, and any damage that is the proximate cause of that, he's responsible for. And if there is any question as to whether he's responsible for the damage, I have to find in your favor with regard to that because I wasn't there. Neither was he to fix the car. So the judgment is for the plaintiff in the amount of $505 for the damage to the car. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
When we were in a strip joint, she got angry at me for looking at girls in a strip joint, which is what you go to a strip joint for.
It was really disgusting, degrading to me. I just wanted to leave.
Year-old contractor Raymond Burbine for the return of her children's baby pictures and a diamond bracelet.
According to the complaint, you and the defendant lived together for a period of 5 years. You've known each other for 10. When you separated, you put your stuff in storage. It's your claim that the defendant retained some of your property.
Yes.
When did you separate your property?
I got evicted from my apartment because of circumstances.
Got evicted from your apartment in what month?
March of 99, 2000. Lived with somebody from March until June.
The two of you lived with somebody else until June?
Yes.
And what property did you take with you when you separated?
I took like my clothes. That was about it. I had a little TV that I brought. I share a house with an elderly woman, so I couldn't really take that much stuff.
Okay, you brought a TV?
Yes.
Brought your clothes?
Yes, some of them.
You brought your papers, whatever papers that were necessary that you have?
Well, I had in storage at his friend's house, green folder filled with court papers that he still has.
Court papers?
Yes, very important papers.
What kind of court papers?
For a custody battle.
Custody battle for whom?
My children.
Raymond says all items have been returned and there was never any bracelet.
How old are your children?
14, 15, and 18.
Is that an ongoing proceeding?
No.
It's over?
Yeah.
So those papers are really not essential anymore. That case is over. Now, what items do you claim he still has in storage?
He has all my pictures from my kids from babies growing up.
Are they in boxes?
Yes.
Do you have her pictures?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Do you know what happened to those pictures?
Yes, I do.
What happened to
them? They
them?
were delivered to her.
By whom?
by myself.
When you say delivered to her, where were they delivered?
To Beverly, Mass. After we were evicted from the apartment, that is correct. And I do have a box of her court papers, but as far as the other belongings...
Oh, we're going to get to the other, but you do have the court papers?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and you have no problem with her getting...
I have no problem
with her
whatsoever.
getting those. Okay. Now, when you delivered the photos to her, was she at home?
Yes, she was.
Okay, so she actually accepted them?
Yes, she did.
Fine. What's next, Miss Flynn?
My court papers, a diamond bracelet that he had given me.
I read that in your complaint. That's where your problem was, Miss Flynn.
Okay.
You said okay too fast. You want to know why? Because when things don't make sense, they're usually not true. If you're homeless, the first thing that you pack is a diamond bracelet. Before you take your television set, before you take your underwear, you put your diamond bracelet in your pocketbook. So when you said to me in your complaint, Miss Flynn, he has my baby pictures, a crystal bowl that was given to me by my ex-husband, and a diamond bracelet, I said, this woman thinks that I'm some sort of a dumbo. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, that was one of the things that was in with my court papers.
Oh, that was quick thinking. So if the diamond bracelet is there, you'll find it when he returns
No,
the box
he
of
won't.
court
He already
papers.
told me that his probation officer said that I don't, unless I have a receipt for it, which it was a gift.
No. Listen to me. If what you're telling me is you put the diamond bracelet in the court papers, I assume that when you get the box of court papers, you'll find the diamond bracelet. If you don't find the diamond bracelet there, I suggest you go and look in your underwear drawer. It's probably there. What else?
My kitchen appliances, a lot. He has clothes of mine still.
What else do you have, Mr. Burbine?
I have a box of court papers. Everything else was delivered to her at her home in Beverly. I have affidavits from whose garage the things were stored in.
I can't take affidavits, sir.
Okay, but everything else was
How
delivered.
long ago were they delivered?
I would say the latter part of August.
Do you recall that?
He brought me some of the stuff, not all of it.
Fine.
I told him I had a list of things missing, and I read him the list.
And what did he say?
He told me that he was going to be getting his own apartment in 3 weeks, and that he would go through the stuff and give me my stuff.
Okay.
And that's been going on for almost a year.
Okay. So you have some kitchen appliances.
Yes.
You mean bowls and a toaster?
Dishes, toaster, can opener, all kinds of stuff. I lived in that apartment 17 years, so 17 years worth of stuff.
Mm-hmm. I can't split that up. You can get your court paper, but I can't split that up. I'm not going to say, you listen, you have service for 12, you take 6 and he takes 6. That's not what courts are here for.
Most important to me are my children's baby pictures.
Well, but you don't know what happened to them. I don't think he's retaining them. If he returned property to you, what possible reason would he have to retain your children's baby pictures?
He was very close to my daughter and my boys. And I called him, I've called him several times and asked him to bring them back. And he said that he did have them.
Do you have any pictures of her
Your
children?
Honor, you know, she's telling the truth. I was close to the children, but no obligation to keeping baby pictures that do not belong to me. I am not...
Have you gone through everything that
I
was
have
in
went
storage?
through every piece of box, bag in that garage, and the only thing I do have are the litigation papers for her custody battle.
How big a box is it?
It's approximately, I'd say, 2 foot by a foot.
Is it possible there are pictures in there?
In the bottom it may be, but I did go through the box to make sure none of my belongings were in there when I was served on my birthday with the court paper.
You didn't see any diamond bracelet in there, did you?
No.
I didn't think so.
Nor there was one to
All
resist.
right. Mr. Burbine, you'll do this, sir. Within 5 days, you'll make arrangements for her to get the court papers. Is it easy for you to have someone deliver them to her?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Great. 5 days from today. That's it. Thank you.
it. It's so very good, 25 kill. Every match I have dashed kill. छोट के जमीन पर तेरी इशारे गुरु Oh, what the hell, bro?